Chapter 1094. When they arrived at school, Yanjun saw little Qi enter the classroom and quickly dragged her to the corridor. What happened yesterday? Yanji's grandmother is really gone? Little Qi nodded, confirming that what Yanjun had seen was true. Then what are your plans? I don't have any plans. I'll stay by his side and slowly torture him. After saying this in a normal tone, little Qi carried her school bag and returned to the classroom. Yanjun shrugged as if she had expected this outcome. However, was she really not afraid of being hacked to death by a gangster? This really required courage. If it were an ordinary person, they would definitely hide for a long time. During the break, the school was filled with gossip again. The topic revolved around Yanji and little Qi. Hearing the questions from others, little Qi remembered that in order to deliberately humiliate Yanji yesterday, she had let the whole school see that Yanji was her chauffeur. Xingqingwen, is Yanji really your chauffeur? Didn't he go missing? Isn't Yanji being supported by a rich woman? But why did I hear that he's now a big shot in the underworld? Faced with the questions around her, little Qi felt a headache coming on. If she had known that she was looking for trouble for herself, she wouldn't have done what she did yesterday. She had hurt others and herself. When I saw Yanji yesterday, I felt that he was even more handsome than before. Black windbreaker, white shirt, and that body of muscle. I could tell at a glance that he was very strong. Little Qi was speechless. Little Qi really couldn't stand a bunch of women fantasizing about her man, so she quickly found a quiet place to hide. She didn't know if the grief in his heart had lessened after a whole day. At 6 o'clock in the evening, little Qi walked out of school and saw Zhichu driving a car and waving at her at the door. Sister-in-law. Little Qi coughed lightly and quickly walked over. She opened the car door. Don't call me that in the future. But, brother, he ordered it. Is he okay today? Little Qi put away her anger and asked softly at the mention of Yanji. How can he be okay when his dearest person is gone? After a whole day he's haggard. Zhichu sighed slightly. Sister-in-law, only you can comfort him. Little Qi did not say anything. At this moment, what floated in her mind was Yanji's lonely figure from last night. Soon, Zhichu brought little Qi to Yanji's residence. At this moment there were no outsiders in the morning hall. Only Yanji was sitting in front of the old lady's portrait. Little Qi put down her school bag and walked into the morning hall. She picked up a white chrysanthemum from the door and placed it in front of the old lady's coffin. I regret it very much. I promised Yanji to see you last night. If I didn't show up, maybe. Yanji grabbed little Qi. After she squatted down, he hugged her. You don't have to blame yourself. I was the one who made this choice. In that instant, little Qi pushed Yanji away. You're having a fever. Do you know that? Yanji leaned against the cold wall, looking haggard. Just as he was about to answer, he realized that someone had entered the morning hall, so he pushed little Qi to Zhichu. Go up and eat and rest. I'll come up later. Little Qi frowned. She realized that the person who entered the morning hall was not a kind person, so she did not refuse and went up to the second floor with Zhichu. Brother Yang, Yanji, I'm sorry for your loss. The person called Brother Yang entered the morning hall and offered the old lady a bouquet of flowers. You have to take good care of yourself. You're my right-hand man now. I can't leave you. I know. Yanji nodded respectfully. However, there was a fog hidden in his eyes, making it impossible to see through him. That girl just now is the young lady of the Xing family, right? Brother Yang looked upstairs meaningfully. I'll introduce her to you another day. Chapter 1095. Brother Yang, please forgive her. Her family doesn't want her to have anything to do with the gang, Yanji explained to the other party apologetically. You know. The other party patted Yanji's shoulder and nodded. Brother Yang understands. It's better not to provoke the Xing family. However, if you can get involved with the daughter of the Xing family, it will be more convenient for you to do things in the future. I'm happy to see it happen. Yanji frowned but did not explain. After Brother Yang left, he turned around and saw little Qi at the staircase. Yanji opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but in the end he could not say anything. Come up and take your medicine. Little Qi did not question him. She only said these words and turned to go upstairs. Yanji followed her upstairs and saw little Qi's busy back. He was secretly a little anxious, but he did not know how to explain it. He did not come back to look for her for that kind of thing. The room was dark and the light was very weak. Xianxia sat down on the bed tiredly. He did not dare to look away from little Qi for a moment. Xiaowan, are we unable to go back to the past? Why are you in such a hurry? You've been gone for 5 years. Can't I be angry for a while? Little Qi replied with her back to Xianxia. Lie down and sleep. I'll wake you in the morning. I'm afraid that you'll leave. Xianxia took off his gloves and placed them on the bedside table. His voice was low and dry. If you keep talking, I'm really leaving. Xianxia lay down obediently and waited for little Qi to bring the medicine to his mouth. If you still have a fever at night, you have to go to the hospital to treat it. Xianxia obediently took the medicine and took the opportunity to hold little Qi's hand. Soon he fell asleep. Little Qi sat by the bed and looked down at his hands that were holding her. Especially on the back of his right hand, there was a long scar. It was ferocious and evil. No wonder he had to wear gloves. Had he really been living on the edge of a knife for the past 5 years? Little Qi sighed slightly. Under the moonlight, Xianxia's resolute face became calm and gentle. However, looking at the corners of his eyes and side profile, there was a trace of murderous aura. 5 years ago, Xianxia was cynical and unruly. At this moment, Xianxia was mature and steady. It was hard to fathom him. Little Qi looked at his sleeping face and unknowingly fell asleep on Xianxia's chest. At this moment, Xianxia slowly opened his eyes and looked down at the little woman on his chest. He reached out and carried her to the bed. Little Qi thought that this was a dream. In her half-asleep state, she smiled at Xianxia. This was the first time little Qi had smiled at him since their reunion. It was very sweet and soul-stirring. Xianxia couldn't help but turn over and kiss her. The vow that they could only kiss at the age of 16 was still ringing in his ears. However, this little woman was about to turn 18. Not to mention kissing, she could even directly abduct him to bed. Of course, he didn't want to yet. He wanted this little woman to completely forgive and accept him both physically and mentally. Because he was afraid of waking little Qi up, Xianxia only dared to carefully taste the sweetness. When he opened his eyes and saw that she was sleeping soundly, he reached out and hugged her so that she could sleep more comfortably. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the alarm clock broke the silence in the room. Little Qi propped herself up and realized that the seat beside her was empty again. Xianxia had already gotten up. At this moment, he was in the old lady's room packing her belongings. Chapter 1096. Everything here had the old lady's shadow and aura. Xianxia stood in the room tidying up the things one by one. His hands did not stop, but his back view was full of loneliness. Because he still believed that he had killed the old lady. If he had not made a deal with Brother Nan back then everything that happened later would not have happened. Auntie Hong would not have died, Grandma would not have died, and his family would not have left him one by one. With this thought in mind, he could not help but clench his right hand. The old lady's brooch in his palm pierced his palm and blood flowed down. When little Qi saw this, she quickly walked up, raised his right hand and scolded, "Let go. Don't you want your hand anymore?" "I don't." Xianxia let go of his right hand and looked at the blood-stained brooch in his palm. "Because I killed Grandma. Grandma never blamed you. Even when she died, she was still worried about you. If you still have the heart, send Grandma off on her last journey." Little Qi's eyes were red as she took the brooch away from Xianxia's palm. Xianxia did not say anything. He just looked at little Qi with red eyes. "I'll go get the medicine box." Xianxia still did not answer. He just used his left hand to suddenly hug little Qi into his arms. "Don't leave me. Xiaowan, I only have you." Little Qi knew that at this moment Xianxia seemed to have been abandoned. He did not have any sense of security. No words of comfort could make him relax. Therefore little Qi just patted his back and said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'll be in your sight." Then little Qi went to get the medicine box. However, just as the two of them were bandaging, Shi Chu knocked on the door and said, "Brother He, sister-in-law, it's time. I'll be done soon." Little Qi quickly took out gauze and carefully bandaged Xianxia's wound. Xianxia looked at his palm that was wrapped in gauze and then at the back of his right hand. If Xiaowan had been here, he might not have left such an ugly scar. "Scope." Little Qi stood up and said to Xianxia, "Don't let Grandma wait too long." The old lady's funeral ceremony was very simple. Other than Xianxia and the other two, the rest were Xianxia's subordinates. A group of people dressed in black and carrying white flowers sent the old lady into the mausoleum. A group of people dressed in black and carrying white flowers sent the old lady into the mausoleum. After the old lady's funeral, she stood behind Xianxia and accompanied him from afar. It was not until evening when the night rain suddenly fell that Xianxia turned around and left his grandmother's grave with little Qi in his arms. At least she got the answer she wanted. Lil Wan, grandma left without any worries, didn't she? Little Qi leaned against Xianxia's chest, her face covered in cold and wet rain. Of course. Let's go. With that, Xianxia walked out of the cemetery. Outside the door, Zhichu was waiting by the car. When he saw the two of them come out, he quickly opened the door. Brother He, are you going home? No, let's go to Zhi's room. Go to Zhi's. Xiao, Zhi's little. He's she. She's ladies, Zhi's, then, she. Li, soon, Li, be, they soon. And the they. Soon in they and they entered the hotel. They all. Chi. By Chu after back she. He. Little Qi looked at Xianxia, who had silently entered the room, and nodded. Go and rest. Zhichu left obediently and little Qi closed the door. Chapter 1097. Inside the room, Xianxia didn't turn on the lights. He just sat on the sofa wet. Little Qi walked behind him and wanted to take off his coat for him, but Xianxia stopped her. No need. I'm afraid I won't be able to control myself. Little Qi's hand paused, then she said above his head, Xianxia, I'm no longer who I used to be. I can do whatever I want. Do you still need to worry so much about us? Xianxia didn't say anything. This time, even if you die, your corpse will be mine. Little Qi whispered into Xianxia's ear and then continued what she was doing. This time Xianxia didn't stop her. Soon little Qi took off his black coat. The originally white shirt, because it was drenched, stuck tightly to Xianxia's body as if he wasn't wearing it. Little Qi looked at the scars through the shirt. Then she went around to Xianxia and squatted down. She unbuttoned his shirt one by one. At this moment little Qi was no longer as shy as before. Instead she was like a woman as she looked at Xianxia's gradually exposed chest. Shaowan, okay. Little Qi nodded calmly. I want to kiss, Xianxia said as he stared into little Qi's eyes. Little Qi pinched his shirt and pecked his lips. Is that okay? Not this kind. It's the kind with desire. As soon as Xianxia finished speaking, little Qi held his face and kissed him without hesitation. Xianxia's heart trembled. He immediately hugged little Qi's waist, but she pushed him away. You want to infect me with the cold? Xianxia was a little confused. He wasn't satisfied at all, so he couldn't help but want to kiss her again. However, little Qi blocked him with her palm. Have you touched other women in the past 5 years? Xianxia shook his head. Haven't you had sex? I looked at your photo and solved it myself. Does that count? Xianxia asked as he removed little Qi's palm. You're a big shot. You didn't bring a woman with you? This time Xianxia didn't answer. Instead he pulled little Qi onto his lap and said in a hoarse and sexy voice, If it's not you, I don't want anyone. After hearing this, little Qi knew that part of his attention had been diverted because his bestial nature had returned. I said no. Little Qi refused righteously. I'm easily infected. Have you forgotten that I have an old illness? Xianxia hugged her and sniffed her neck. He nodded. I'm going to take a shower. Of course. Little Qi got up from his legs and nodded, looking like a housekeeper. Xianxia stood up and walked towards the bathroom. However, the moment he opened the door, he suddenly turned around and said to little Qi, If you don't like me, I can handle it. I don't dislike you, little Qi immediately replied. But, have you killed anyone? Have you sold drugs before? Have you done anything illegal? Faced with little Qi's 3 consecutive questions, Xianxia shook his head. I haven't done a single dirty thing because I know that once I'm really involved, it'll be impossible for us to be together again. Then why are you the boss? Because of this. Xianxia took out his fist. I know what I'm doing. Go take a shower. Little Qi believed in him because Xianxia had a kind of cohesiveness that made people involuntarily submit to him wholeheartedly. Chapter 1098. Half an hour later, Xianxia returned to his room wrapped in a bath towel. At this time, little Qi also changed into her nightgown. You sleep first. I'll go wash up. Xianxia nodded slightly. He couldn't bear to break the warm atmosphere at this moment, so he pulled away the blanket and lay on the bed. Little Qi went into the bathroom to freshen up. A moment later she returned to the bedroom and naturally lay down beside Xianxia. At that moment Xianxia had already fallen into a deep sleep. Because of the cold and the rain, he did not have the extra energy to wait for Little Qi to come out of the bathroom. Little Qi lay on her side on the bed and looked at the man. Then she slowly pulled him into her arms. Sleep well. When you wake up tomorrow, everything will be over. The next morning the sun was shining brightly. Xianxia woke up from his bed and found that the room was empty. Little Qi was nowhere to be seen. Xianxia quickly got up to look for her, but when he opened the door he saw Zhichu guarding the door. Brother He, why are you so anxious? Are you looking for sister-in-law? Where is she? Xianxia asked as he put on his coat. I've already sent her to school. Zhichu replied with a smile. Xianxia looked up and realized that it was already 10 in the morning. It was fine as long as she didn't leave his side. Xianxia breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Yang has called several times. There's something that needs you to deal with. Zhichu handed the phone to Xianxia. Brother Nan, it's the opposite. When Xianxia heard this news he didn't have much of an expression. If it weren't for Brother Nan's subordinates leaking his information, Auntie Hong and Grandma wouldn't have died. Brother Yang wants you to deal with this matter properly and then take over all of Brother Nan's territories. I have my own plans for this matter. Xianxia took the phone and put it in his trouser pocket. I'm going to see Brother Yang. Go and do something for me. Hang up the house in Lushan and deal with it. Okay. Zhichu also didn't want Xianxia to keep reminiscing about the past. Then tonight will you personally pick up sister-in-law? Xianxia raised his head and looked at Zhichu coldly. His meaning was self-evident. He was meddling too much. Zhichu shrunk his neck and didn't dare to ask about his boss's private affairs anymore. It was noon at Jianchuan High School. Yanzhen and Bianqi were having lunch in the school canteen. Seeing that Xiaoxiao was distracted, Yanzhen leaned on her arm and blinked at her. Have you been with Xianxia for the past few days? Yes, I'll stay at his house, Little Qi said bluntly. Then you guys, what are you thinking? His grandmother is gone. Do you think he has the mind to think about anything else? Little Qi rolled her eyes at Yanzhen. He's a gangster. What can't he think? Yanzhen snorted. So you've completely forgiven him. Little Qi didn't say anything because she was also asking herself in her heart. Was her anger gone just like that? A moment later she decisively answered Yanzhen, it's gone. In this world apart from life and death, everything else was trivial. Xianxia did not betray her nor did he play with her. Since she could not let go of Xianxia, why should she hold on to the past? You're too easy to talk to. Yanzhen pouted. After all, Little Qi had been in pain for 5 years. But although she had calmed down, it did not mean that she would not punish Xianxia. Little Qi thought so. She had plenty of ways to deliberately punish that bastard. Chapter 1099. At this moment the business at Water Night was booming. Brother Yang had arranged to meet Xianxia at the nightclub. At this moment the two of them were already sitting in the private room. Brother Yang, who dominated both the underworld and the underworld, naturally had women on his left and right. He had a cigar in his mouth just like a big shot. Your grandmother just passed away. I didn't want to disturb your rest, but Anan is really too unconscious. All these years I've been protecting him in the underworld and letting him live a good life. I didn't expect him to still have second thoughts. Yanji, tell me, how can a person's heart be so greedy? What do you want to do, Brother Yang? Yanji sat down on the sofa. He directly bypassed Brother Yang's words. Brother Yang pointed at him with his cigar and smiled. You're still like this. It's impossible to talk to you. Anan had some grudges with you before. I know. This time I'll give you a chance to collect the debt. If you win, all his territories will belong to you. I'll vent my anger. Otherwise, people in the underworld will say that I can't even teach a subordinate well. Understood, Yanji said succinctly. I'll give you news in 3 days. You're leaving just like that. I'm going to pick someone up. Yanji stood up and answered. Brother Yang smiled meaningfully. Among the few subordinates around him, Yanji was the only one with a bright future. On one hand he had the ability and on the other hand he knew how to change the background. However, Brother Yang also knew very well that this person was also the most dangerous person. Whether he was a sharp weapon or a stumbling block, it all depended on how the person who had him used it. At 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Xianxia was wearing a brown windbreaker and driving the Xing family's extended sedan. He was waiting for little Qi to finish class at the entrance of Jianchuan High School. Compared to his appearance a few days ago, Xianxia today actually made people feel more lonely and distressed. After all, his closest relative had passed away. It was rare for his face to be haggard. People kept coming in and out of the school, especially the girls. Naturally, their screams were endless. However, this did not include the old witch who used to be Xianxia's form teacher. She walked in front of Xianxia with a textbook in her hand. She pushed the glasses on the bridge of her nose and asked Xianxia, "Are you still receiving education?" "I'm just messing around," Xianxia replied lightly. "What a pity." After saying these 3 words, the old witch walked around the Xing family's car and left Xianxia's line of sight with her head held high. According to her, Xianxia was so smart. He really shouldn't be such a hooligan. No matter what line of work he chose, he could still be at the top. Xianxia didn't care at all, because he remembered who he was and what he was doing. That was enough. Soon little Qi and Yanjun walked out of the school gate. This time Yanjun leaned on little Qi's arm. "Do you have the heart to punish such a devilish appearance? See you later." Little Qi winked at her and walked to Xianxia's side. "Where are you going today?" "I'll send you back to the Xing family. Your parents are back," Xianxia said as he opened the car door. "I won't." Little Qi refused as she got into the car. "I want to continue staying in the hotel with you." "There's no need for that. You have the final say and I have the final say?" Little Qi asked. "Xianxia, your parents will ask about you. Moreover, it's against the rules for you to sleep with me." Xianxia closed the car door looking very mature. "Your rules are mine?" Little Qi asked again. "Xianxia, don't think that I'll let you off so easily. I haven't settled the score with you yet. Then I'll take you cross-country in the mountains first. Then we'll watch the stars on the mountain. We'll go back to the hotel in the middle of the night and let you do whatever you want. Are you satisfied with this arrangement?" Xianxia consciously offered the program menu. Chapter 1100. Thinking of the motorcycle that she had thrown away, little Qi shook her head. "I'm not going. I've already thrown the car away." Xianxia was speechless. He started the car and took little Qi to the place where the 2 of them used to date 5 years ago. The narrow path had now become a wide road. "The car is still there, but the road is different," Xianxia said calmly. "It seems that I have to find another way to make my little wife happy. In that case, do me the honor of having dinner?" "Aren't you a big shot? Why are you asking me?" Little Qi looked like she was waiting to be dominated. Xianxia looked at little Qi from the rearview mirror and smiled silently. Then he brought her back to the hotel and into the parking lot. Unexpectedly, after getting out of the car, little Qi saw the motorcycle that she had thrown at the hotel a few days ago. "You saw me?" Xianxia curled the corners of his lips slightly and leaned against the front of the car. With a hint of self-deprecation he said, "If there's anything else in the hotel that attracts my attention, it's you. It's just that when you left, the car wasn't there anymore." My heart tightened. Because when you came riding, it made my heart beat violently. I searched the parking lot and found this little thing. Little Qi's actions at that time made him feel as if he had been on a roller coaster twice that day. Watching her ride the bike, he knew that she still had him in her heart. Seeing her abandon the car, he was terrified that she was about to give up on him. Fortunately, it was not too late. "Since you care so much, why can't you hold back from looking for me?" Little Qi turned her head and stared at Xianxia as she asked seriously. "How do you know that I haven't looked for you?" Xianxia asked naturally. Little Qi was stunned. "Don't say anything else. Let's go up and eat. The hotel should be ready." Xianxia was afraid that little Qi would feel burdened, so he deliberately looked at his watch and then stood up to hold her hand. However, little Qi's attention was still on Xianxia's words. She really wanted to know when he had appeared by her side. The 2 of them got into the elevator and soon arrived at the top floor of the hotel. Little Qi followed Xianxia into the hotel restaurant. At this time Zhichu came up to them. "Brother He, sister-in-law. Go down and rest. Just keep an eye on what I told you," Xianxia said calmly. "Understood." Looking at the entire restaurant, there were only Xianxia and Mingqi. This should be the result of booking the entire restaurant. Xianxia was the first to pull out a chair at one end of the dining table. Then he reminded little Qi, "What happened?" "I don't like these fancy things," little Qi suddenly said very seriously. "Xianxia, there are too many mysteries about you that I can't understand. These things have always been intertwined in my heart. Do you think I'm in the mood to sit down and eat slowly with you? You have to know that if you don't plan to be completely honest with me, then no matter what we do, my mind will only be filled with the pain of your disappearance. We are separated by hearts. Other than being careful and sensitive, there is nothing else. I'm already past the age where a little girl needs to be coaxed, boss he. You should think about it carefully first." Xianxia pursed his lips. His expression was a little complicated, mixed with a trace of sadness. He didn't know that little Qi had matured to this extent. "We have to eat first, right? If it's this, I'd rather eat a bowl of noodles on the street." After saying that, little Qi turned around and left. Xianxia smiled helplessly and followed closely behind. Chapter 1101. Little Qi's footsteps were very fast. She didn't stop no matter how much she was shouted at. Xianxia immediately became domineering. He directly went forward and hugged her by the waist. Then he used his fastest speed to return to the hotel room. Little Qi struggled in his arms, but Xianxia threw her on the bed. "Don't move. Let go of me." The two of them spoke at the same time, their noses touching. Even when they had slept in the same bed 2 nights ago, the two of them had never been so close. "I'm not telling you not because I don't want to. I just don't know where to start. Also, I just want to use my actions to tell you what I really think. Little one, isn't it more reliable to do it than to say it?" In such an ambiguous position, he was still talking about doing it or not. Little Qi immediately let her imagination run wild. "Get out of the way first." Xianxia admired little Qi's feminine side and suddenly smiled. "Are you shy? How can you not blush when you're being pressed down like this?" "I shouldn't be if I'm being pressed down by you." Xianxia moved his body away from her. However, halfway through he used his hand to hold little Qi's softness. "You're developing well." "Xianxia." Little Qi instantly exploded. This time Xianxia laughed out loud. Then he sat on the bed and pulled little Qi into his arms. "You'll be mine sooner or later. Why are you so angry?" Little Qi leaned against that hard chest and couldn't break free no matter how hard she tried. She had clearly trained in combat skills over the years, but she didn't have much of an advantage over Xianxia. "I'll slowly tell you what happened after I left Jianchuan because it's too long and too torturous. However, for the past 5 years, I've thought of a way to visit you at the school gate every 3 months, but you've never seen me." Little Qi immediately deflated and hugged Xianxia instead. "What if I like someone else?" Quietly. "Solve it," Xianxia answered directly, but there was a hint of sharpness in his words. "I mean, I've changed my mind." Little Qi reiterated the main point of her question. "Then I'll lock you up. No matter how many years it takes, I want you to fall in love with me again." After Xianxia said that, he stroked little Qi's head a few times. "All right, aren't you hungry? I ordered 2 bowls of noodles. I'm going to clean up and change my clothes." "You said my parents are back?" Little Qi suddenly asked as she watched Xianxia get up. "Yes." Xianxia took off his windbreaker and nodded. "How did you convince my dad to be so biased towards you? Could it be that he favors men over women?" Little Qi was puzzled. Didn't other fathers-in-law make things difficult for their son-in-law? "Don't doubt your father's concern for you. That's because he knows very well that I'm the only one you really want." Xianxia smiled confidently at little Qi. "Then when will you officially visit my family?" Little Qi got out of bed and followed behind Xianxia. "I want to ask you first. Does your family mind being a gangster?" "Little Qi, if your family mind, what do you plan to do?" Xianxia looked at little Qi with interest and asked. "Whether they agree or not, I'll definitely follow a fierce big boss like you. My family has all kinds of jobs, but there's no gangster gang." Xianxia, little Qi knew that she had won the round and smiled sweetly. However, it was her smile that Xianxia suddenly held her cheek and kissed her fiercely. "I'll let you be proud." Chapter 1102. Little Qi's face and ears were flushed from the kiss. She finally pushed the culprit a few steps away. "Don't kiss me after smoking." Xianxia grabbed her arm and pulled her closer to him. He looked at her intently. "Do you know how dangerous you are now?" Xianxia. Without my parents' consent, don't even think about having any physical relationship with you. After Xianxia heard this, he turned his head and shook his shoulders. He laughed in a low voice. Xiaowan, so I didn't know that you had already thought so far ahead? Little Qi was speechless. Xianxia saw that she was speechless, so he sat on the sofa and pulled little Qi onto his legs. But you owe me a lot of kisses. According to what you said, you can kiss once a day from the age of 16. Think about it yourself, how many times do you owe me? Little Qi leaned against Xianxia's chest and smelled the smell of the cigar on his body. She was a little unconvinced. That's what you missed. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't smoke. I was just talking to Brother Yang in the afternoon. He stuffed a cigar into my mouth, but I didn't light it. I didn't expect you to be so sensitive to the smell, Xianxia explained calmly as he hugged her. Little Qi's heart was pounding. This was because their posture was too ambiguous. However, even though she knew that this couldn't go on, she still couldn't bear to leave Xianxia's arms. She didn't know if it was because of their tacit understanding, but the atmosphere between the two of them became more and more ambiguous. Especially when their gazes met, their lips unknowingly pressed together again. This time it was gentle and lingering. It was long and soft, allowing little Qi to experience what a real kiss was. The two of them sucked up all the oxygen in each other's chests. When little Qi couldn't breathe, Xianxia reluctantly let her go. I can't continue, huh? I'm afraid I can't help it. Little Qi placed her head on Xianxia's shoulder, and the two of them hugged each other calmly and warmly. How many years had it been? Today the scene that she had dreamed of could finally be realized in reality. Little Qi couldn't wait to walk into Xianxia's life and soul. This time she wouldn't allow him to escape again. And the best way to tie Xianxia up was responsibility. The two of them cuddled in the room for a long time, but this beautiful scene was quickly broken by Zhichu's knocking on the door. Brother He, something happened. Xianxia and Midnight looked at the door at the same time. Then little Qi got up from Xianxia's lap. Go. Xianxia got up from the sofa and caressed little Qi's head. Wash up and sleep first. I'll be back later. Will he come back? Little Qi asked carefully. Of course. Xianxia's expression was firm. This time I won't leave your side even if I die. Little Qi nodded and pointed at the door with her chin. Go. Xianxia picked up his coat again and quickly walked out the door. Little Qi watched the two of them disappear and could only adapt to the sudden silence in the room as soon as possible. How could she miss a certain someone after being apart for only a second? Little Qi sat down on the sofa. However, before she could think about anything else, Master Xiao called. Little Qi suddenly felt embarrassed as if she had been caught in the act. She had clearly agreed to go home at night. However, she still picked up the phone and said in a coquettish tone, Dad. Chapter 1103. Why? Do you still see me as your father? Master Zhao's tone was unclear. It was obvious that he was quite dissatisfied with Xianxia not sending little Qi home. I'll be back later. I'll be back tonight. Little Qi scratched her head and her rationality began to return. What time? 10 o'clock? 12 o'clock? Or 5 o'clock in the morning? Master Zhao's tone rose slightly. It's not like that, Dad. Xianxia went out to do something. I'm staying in the hotel alone. I just want him to see me when he comes back. Now that he's alone, I don't want him to lose his sense of security, little Qi answered sincerely. If you don't believe me, you can send Uncle Su over to watch me. Your Uncle Su also has his own things to do. Master Zhao's tone softened. In terms of feelings, little Qi had combined his and Mu Qiqi's temperament. Master Xiao could understand this. Dad. Before 2 o'clock. I'll leave the lights on for you. This was already Master Zhao's biggest concession. After all, he knew that Xianxia had lost his grandmother. Got it, Dad. You're the best. After obtaining Master Zhao's understanding, little Qi was relieved. She did not know what Xianxia was doing at the moment. Was he really fighting on the streets like in the movies? At that moment, Xianxia was rushing to the dock of Jianchuan. We captured Brother Nan's right-hand man and forced him to the dock. However, Brother Nan asked to see you. Otherwise, he would detonate the homemade bomb on his body to lure the police out. He came prepared. So as long as he sees me, he'll be willing to surrender. Xianxia's gaze was cold and even a trace of impatience. Where's he now? On the broken boat. Xianxia got out of the car and straightened his windbreaker. His expression was dignified and sharp, and he had the air of a big shot. Brother he, his subordinates bowed and made way for this ruthless character. Unlike in front of little Qi, Xianxia had quite a bit of prestige in the underworld. He never took people's lives, but he would definitely make them suffer a fate worse than death. Everyone knew that the person who had offended him had been chased by him for a year or two. In the end, because he couldn't stand Xianxia's revenge, he went to the police station and surrendered himself, admitting that he had killed someone back then. Brother he's on the boat, but it's very dangerous. Xianxia waved his hand and motioned for everyone to leave. We've known each other for a while. Since he wants to see me, I'll let him see me. But his subordinates were worried about his safety. Zhichu hurriedly stopped his little brother. This kind of matter, brother he naturally knew what to do. Xianxia was wearing shiny brown leather shoes. Unlike the slovenly image of the other big shots who were nouveau riche, he would clean himself up every day. He was meticulous, and his taste in clothes was completely like an English gentleman. Xianxia walked onto the broken ship and saw Brother Nan sitting in the cabin. His eyes were filled with fear. Don't come over or I'll light it up. Brother Nan held a lighter and revealed the explosives tied to his waist to threaten Xianxia. Xianxia did not go any further. He just squatted on the deck and looked at Brother Nan. Do you know what happened to the people who asked to see me in the past few years? Brother Nan's throat rolled and he was sweating profusely. Xianxia, back then I was kind to you. Why did you repay my kindness with enmity? A favor. Xianxia snorted. Chapter 1104. What a huge favor. You killed 2 of my family members in a row. You can't blame this on me. I didn't know that I would be betrayed, Brother Nan quickly explained. I didn't know anything about what happened back then. I didn't know that the other party would take such extreme revenge on you. Your subordinates have already told me everything. Xianxia smiled coldly. The other party asked for peace and gave you 10 territories, but you sold me out. Isn't that the case? Brother Nan's face turned pale and his hands began to tremble. Can't you let me go? Let you go. Xianxia seemed to have lost his patience and stood up. You really disappoint me. I thought that since you betrayed Brother Yang and wanted to set up your own business, you wouldn't be so weak. I didn't expect you to be so easily frightened. All right, I've seen your ugly face. If you want to light a fire, then light it. Or should I ask my subordinates to help you? Anyway, this is the dock and it's a broken boat. Even if it catches fire, no one will think that there are people on it. After saying that, Xianxia turned around and jumped onto the shore. Xianxia, what I am today will be your tomorrow in the future. This was Brother Nan's last advice to Xianxia. I'll never be able to be like you. After saying that, Xianxia walked up to his subordinates and instructed, Old rules. Don't kill anyone. Punish them as you should. From then on, Auntie Hong and the old lady's grudge could be considered to have been avenged. As for his future path, he knew what kind of choice he was making. He would not go wrong, nor would he go astray. Brother you've worked hard. Go back and rest. Count the number of territories in this bastard's hands and show them to Brother Yang. Before Xianxia got into the car, he instructed Zhichu, I don't like these things. It's useless to keep them. Got it. Zhichu nodded. Soon the originally calm sea erupted into flames. Xianxia glanced at it indifferently. He had absolute trust in his subordinates. When he returned to the hotel, it was almost 10 o'clock at night. Xianxia looked at his wristwatch and frowned slightly. He didn't know if the little girl was asleep. Thinking of this, Xianxia was eager to return. The moment he opened the door, he was even a little surprised because the lights in the room were still on. She was waiting for him. You're back? Little Qi got up from the sofa. Yeah, why aren't you sleeping yet? Xianxia took off his coat and hung it at the side. Moreover, looking at little Qi's appearance, she hadn't washed up yet. My dad called and asked me to go home. Since you're back safely now, send me home. Little Qi raised the phone in her hand and said. Xianxia was stunned for a moment. He suddenly understood little Qi's intention. She always waited for him to come back before leaving because she didn't want him to feel lonely in the room. Little Yang. Little Qi hugged him back and thought for a few seconds. Then she asked, why don't we say that you're injured and I want to take care of you? Then do I have to hang my arm up tomorrow? Xianxia was finally amused and let go of little Qi. Now is not the time. Wait for me to come back and let you stay by my side for the night. Chapter 1105. At 11 o'clock at night, little Qi stepped into the house. However, she closed the door carefully, looking a little guilty. Xianxia was serving Mu Qiqi, who had gone to the police station after returning to China. The couple sat at the dining table and turned to look at their daughter with a meaningful look in their eyes. You still know to come back. Xianxia snorted faintly. Then he looked at his pocket watch and realized that it was still early, so he didn't say anything else. Mu Qiqi didn't reprimand little Qi. She just smiled as she ate. You're like me back then. If you weren't like you back then, I would have thrown you out long ago. Little Qi was speechless. Why don't you try? Mu Qiqi frowned and contradicted Xianxia. Do you think it's easy for you to get a daughter when you're old? Little Qi secretly laughed and then quietly went back to her room. It was useless to be envious because it was her parents' love, and her bond was in the hotel at the moment. She didn't know when she would be able to stay by Xianxi's side. The next day little Qi woke up to go to school. Unexpectedly, Tang Xiaobao came to the banyan courtyard to see her. You have to go to school too, right? Why are you at my house so early in the morning? Little Qi couldn't help but ask when she saw his serious expression. Let's talk on the way. Tang Xiaobao stuffed the milk into little Qi's arms and directly dragged her out. Tang Xiaobao, I know Xianxia is back. Tang Xiaobao paused and suddenly said, I also know that he's in the underworld now. Girl, you know that I hate criminals the most in my life. Do you still want to be involved with him? Little Qi stopped in her tracks and suddenly couldn't say anything. 5 years ago this bastard hurt you once. Do you still want to bump into him now? Tang Xiaobao looked little Qi in the eyes and asked. He had also become handsome. He had inherited his father's style. He was tough, sunny and full of righteousness. He was really popular with girls. Xiaobao, although I don't know what to say, Xianxia and I are different from what you think. He's not the kind of person you think he is, little Qi explained calmly. Little Qi explained calmly, I know that Uncle Tang is the chief of the police station. You've been influenced by him since you were young, so it's impossible for you to take him seriously. However, he's the person I like. As long as I believe that he didn't do anything wrong, I don't care who he is. After hearing little Qi's words, Tang Xiaobao let go of her right hand because he suddenly felt that the little girl in front of him was so unfamiliar. He didn't know when it started, but the two of them had a conflict in their worldview. Tang Xiaobao would never be with a gang member, but little Qi told him that she didn't care at all. Where is Uncle Xiao? Doesn't he care? My father naturally wants me to be happy. Crazy, are you all crazy? Tang Xiaobao suddenly became agitated. What are you all thinking? What was Uncle Xiao thinking? Is he trying to push you into the fire pit? When little Qi saw Tang Xiaobao's expression, she wanted to try to make him understand. However, when the words were on the tip of her tongue, she felt that it was unnecessary because everyone had their own position. Tang Xiaobao's heart was very conflicted and uncomfortable because he didn't know how to face his sister walking on the crooked path. Therefore, he held little Qi's shoulder and persuaded her earnestly, Little Qi, I really don't want to see you jump into the fire pit. Don't fall for it anymore, okay? We can still find a better one. Chapter 1106. It seems that you haven't had enough of that fight back then. A male voice suddenly came from behind the two of them. Little Qi turned around and saw Xianxia pulling her to his side, his entire body full of possessiveness. Didn't you disappear 5 years ago? Why are you still pestering my sister? When Tang Xiaobao saw Xianxia, his eyes were spitting fire and he was furious. Don't you know that you're a hooligan? Do you still want to jump over the dragon gate? Get in the car first. Xianxia didn't want to make things difficult for little Qi, so he pushed little Qi to Jichu. Although little Qi was worried, it was indeed not appropriate for her to stay for long because it would only add fuel to the fire. Therefore she followed Jichu into the car. Outside the car, the atmosphere between the two men seemed to be at loggerheads. Let's find another time to fight. You like it anyway. Xianxia handed the contact information to Tang Xiaobao. I'll wait for you. Tang Xiaobao accepted Xianxia's letter of challenge and turned to look at little Qi before turning to leave. Xianxia smiled faintly. He didn't take Tang Xiaobao's anger to heart because he knew very well that this man surnamed Tang only wanted to protect Lil Wan. Then He Yanji returned to the car and handed another breakfast to little Qi. I'll send you to school. Don't tell me the two of you are going to fight again. Little Qi reached out to take the breakfast and felt a headache. Women shouldn't ask about the private matters between men. He Yanji didn't intend to answer this question and let Qi Chu set off because he still had a few important matters to deal with. Little Qi looked at the two breakfasts in her arms and shook her head. Forget it. Anyway, this person knew his limits, so she didn't need to worry about it. However, there were some things that she still needed to express. You also know that the Tang family has been police officers for generations. The most difficult thing to hide is their righteousness. Tang Xiaobao is also worried about me. If you really have any conflict, don't go too far, okay? Aren't you worried that the one being beaten up will be me? He Yanji opened the milk for little Qi and inserted the straw. I'm not worried. In my heart you're the winner. Little Qi answered matter-of-factly. He Yanji felt very comfortable, so he put his arm around her shoulder and pulled her into his arms. By the way, other than your parents, who else do you want to get approval from? Little Qi squinted slightly and asked He Yanji, anyone. He will try my best to satisfy you. You're just a gangster. What are you talking about? It's not that important. It's fine as long as I like you, little Qi answered He Yanji straightforwardly and domineeringly. He Yanji chuckled and stroked little Qi's hair. This little girl's boyfriend was too easy to be. Soon the two of them arrived at the school gate. However, before little Qi could get out of the car, He Yanji reached out and grabbed her. After school in the afternoon, don't run around. I'll pick you up. Where to? Go back to the hotel and do your homework, He Yanji said with a hidden meaning. Little Qi glanced at him and snorted. But for some reason she actually looked forward to that moment. Because she wanted to kiss He Yanji in all kinds of positions in all kinds of places. Just thinking about that scene would make one blush. Don't go astray. It's just limited to kissing. She was an obedient, decent girl. Chapter 1107. On the other side, after Tang Xiaobao returned to school, he couldn't really trust little Qi. Especially when he looked at He Yanji's business card. What kind of future could he have with such a gang member? Therefore after class Tang Xiaobao called his father. Dad, there's something I want to ask of you. Tang Yan was now the chief of the bureau, so he was naturally strict with his son. In his impression, Tang Xiaobao had never asked for his father's help, so he couldn't find a reason to refuse. Go ahead. Can you do a good investigation on He Yanji? He's a gangster, but he has a close relationship with little Qi. I don't want little Qi to regret it after being hurt. If this person has committed a crime, you must tell me immediately. He Yanji. Hearing these three words, Tang Yan was interested. He doesn't have a criminal record, but he has performed meritorious deeds. How is that possible? Tang Xiaobao scoffed on the other side of the phone. It's nothing. I'll keep an eye out. Tang Yan stopped the topic and comforted his son. Tang Xiaobao didn't notice anything else, so he simply hung up. However, on the other end of the phone, Tang Yan's eyes were deep and hidden. He Yanji was an interesting person. The younger generation would surpass the older. Speaking of little Qi, it was a critical moment for the college entrance examination. However, as the daughter of the richest man in Jianchuan, it seemed that little Qi didn't need to worry about the future. When Yanjin saw this, she was very envious. How good would it be if I were you? No matter how many points you score in the exam, your family has a gold mine. Speaking of which, do you really not have any job in particular that you want to do? I want to be a big shots woman, little Qi answered with a book in her hand. Free. You're already one now. I'm asking a serious question. Yanjin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She leaned on little Qi's arm. Think about it carefully. Otherwise, what's the point of living? After hearing Yanjin's words, little Qi thought about it seriously for a moment and then fell into deep thought. There are only 2 months left before the college entrance examination. It seems that it's too late. Little Qi thought about it carefully. Ever since she was born, she had never had any ambitions. She didn't have her mother's dedication, nor did she have her father's extreme intelligence. What was she living for? Little Qi thought about it all afternoon, but there was no answer until she saw He Yanji at the school gate. He Yanji opened the car door and saw that she was absent-minded, so he waited until she got in the car before asking, "What are you thinking about?" You're so engrossed. I'm going to take the college entrance examination soon, but I don't know what to do in the future. Little Chi replied in distress. I seem to be very ordinary and can't do anything big. After Xianxia heard this, he understood. It turned out that his little girl was distressed because of this. Lil Wan, actually you are the cleverest and smartest girl I've ever met. Since you don't know what you like, then let me set a goal for you. How about that? Didn't you regret leaving school? Little Chi was afraid that Xianxia would be sensitive when she mentioned this question. Regret is the most useless thing. Why do you regret it? Xianxia answered without thinking. The smile on his lips was endless. Go to Xingting. Didn't your parents come from there? You really think highly of me. Little Chi couldn't help but laugh. I'll teach you. Don't forget, I once tutored you in your homework, Xianxia said solemnly. Chapter 1108. You. It wasn't that Little Chi didn't believe him, but he hadn't been to school for 5 years. He was afraid that he had forgotten the contents of the textbook. Xianxia smiled mysteriously and didn't explain. He brought Little Chi back to the hotel. Zhichu, knock on the door again at dinner time, Xianxia instructed Zhichu when he led Little Chi into the room. Zhichu nodded and winked at Xianxia. Brother He, don't worry. Just enjoy the two of you. Not only that, but Zhichu also consciously closed the door for the two of them. After entering the room, Xianxia directly placed Little Chi's school bag on the sofa. Then he pulled her to sit on his lap and put her arms around his neck. Did you miss me? Little Chi's heart immediately raced, and her face immediately flushed red. However, she didn't hide her feelings and replied, yes. Xianxia was very satisfied with her answer. He directly pinched her chin and kissed her gently. It was this kind of feeling, this kind of soft feeling, that made Little Chi worry about it for the whole day. Unknowingly, the two of them had fallen in love and the kiss became more and more intense. At this moment, in the huge room, there was only the sound of the two of them sucking each other. After a long while, Xianxia finally let go of Little Chi. I really want to eat you now. Little Chi hugged Xianxia tightly and was trying her best to calm down her distracting thoughts. However, after a while she felt that she had failed, so she whispered in Xianxia's ear, I want to eat you too. Xianxia was stunned. He coughed lightly and quickly said to Little Chi, do your homework. You have the heart but you don't have the guts. Little Chi got up from his body and couldn't help but mutter. Xianxia was a little helpless. It's precisely because it's you that I don't want to be casual. Little Chi knew that he was doing this for the future, so she picked up her school bag and sat down by the coffee table. Come here. Aren't you going to teach? Xianxia stood up and sat down behind Little Chi. He wrapped his arms around her. Are you still partial to subjects now? I'm not partial anymore. In the few years that you were gone, I wrote love letters to many boys, so I practiced it. Little Chi snorted. That's really a good idea. Are you sure it's a few boys? Why didn't you write it in your diary? Xianxia saw through her at a glance. Little Chi turned her head and looked at the man behind her. She was a little awkward. Why did you have to expose me? Xianxia laughed silently and kissed the back of Little Chi's head. It seems like we've returned to that time. Little Chi thought he was joking, so she really handed the math problem that she didn't understand to Xianxia. Can you solve it? Xianxia took the textbook and glanced at it. Then he picked up the pen and pressed it against Little Chi's face. Watch carefully. I'll only solve it once. Little Chi saw him take out the draft paper to calculate and was shocked. Could it be that this person was really a genius? A moment later, the solution appeared on the draft paper, and the answer was on the verge of appearing. You're a gangster, how do you know how to do mathematics? What? Can a hooligan not be cultured? Xianxia smiled as he held her hand and returned the pen to her. Even if it's for you, I will never let myself fall. Little Chi's heart trembled. I can't let the gap between me and you be too big. Xianxia's words sounded casual, but no one knew what kind of hard work he had put in behind the scenes. Little Chi couldn't help but lean into Xianxia's arms. She was full of skills when it came to romantic words. It's okay, I don't mind. Anyway, in the future I'll follow you. Chapter 1109. Big Boss. He rubbed Little Chi's head, his eyes full of smiles. Don't worry, I won't let you lose the bet. Next, it was really homework tutoring. Little Qi looked at He Yanji with a hint of admiration in her eyes. What you say is easier to understand than what the teacher says. You're comparing me to the old witch? He Yanji pinched Little Qi's face. What she says is aimed at the whole class. What I say is only aimed at you. Of course it's different. In the past she had never thought that studying was such an interesting thing. However, in the few years that He Yanji was not around, her exam results depended on her mood. But most of the time she stayed in the top 3. Now that she had Mr. He by her side to tutor her, not only was it exclusive, but she could also kiss, hug and take advantage of him. For the past 2 months she had to have He Yanji tutor her every day. However, good times always passed quickly. Because it was time for dinner, Little Qi stayed at the hotel. After accompanying He Yanji for dinner, he sent her back to the banyan courtyard. However, this time there was something special. This was because after Little Qi got out of the car, she took the initiative to hug Boss He and tiptoed to kiss him on the cheek. This should have been a very ordinary scene, but it was seen by Mama Xing, who had just returned home. Wan. Mama Xing got out of the black car and called out to Little Qi uncertainly. Little Qi turned around and saw her grandmother. She immediately stiffened and could not help but feel a little guilty. Grandma. Mama Xing walked up to the two of them and looked at He Yanji, who was behind Little Qi. This is... Hello, Grandma. I'm Xiaowan's boyfriend, He Yanji. He Yanji politely reached out his hand and bowed slightly to show his respect. Just like when he was bumped into by Master Xiao, He Yanji was calm and did not hide. Boyfriend? Mama Xing's expression was a little unclear because she had never thought that Little Qi, who was only 17 years old, would be like her mother back then. Since we've met, let's go home and have a seat. Mama Xing directly invited He Yanji because she also wanted to know if her son and daughter-in-law knew about this. After Little Qi heard this, her heart pounded. She turned to look at He Yanji, but he looked calm. Then I'll have to trouble you. Hearing these words, Mama Xing's expression softened a little because she knew that this boy was at least not a coward. Grandma. Little Qi panicked and said to Mama Xing, "It's too late today. Can't we do it another day?" She didn't object and you're already protecting her? Mama Xing snorted softly. Then she beckoned the two of them. Get in my car. Little Qi was helpless. He turned to look at He Yanji. He Yanji of He Little Qi. He smiled lovingly. From the beginning to the Xing He of Cheat Tea. After getting into the car, Mama Xing looked at the boy in the back seat again. To be honest, she did not believe that her son did not know about this person. But what was his plan? However, S of T B Li T T T T T T of Chinky Teat T T. Don't worry. Watch me. Don't worry, okay? He Yanji squeezed Little Qi's palm to comfort her. Don't worry. Swatch me. Don't worry, okay? He Yanji pinched Little Qi's palm to comfort her. Chapter 11:10. Soon they entered the house. He Yanji took a deep breath. It was impossible for him not to be nervous. After all, the Xing family was not an ordinary family. However, since it was his first time visiting, he could not panic and disappoint Lil Wan's family. Therefore, even if he had to brace himself, he had to suppress the panic in his heart. Please come in. At that moment, Xianxia was at home. After taking a shower, he was dressed in home clothes that wrapped around his muscular body. It was impossible to tell his age at all. He saw that Xianxia was in the living room on a video call. When he realized that Mama Xing had led someone in, he was interested and told Su Che to postpone the video call. Dad. Little Qi held He Yanji's hand and walked nervously to Xianxia. She called out timidly. Uncle. He Yanji was extremely calm and respectful towards Xianxia. Mama Xing stood at the side and carefully observed He Yanji. This was because when ordinary people saw their son, especially when Xianxia was unsmiling, his expression was not angry, but it gave people a strong sense of oppression. Ordinary people would naturally be afraid and retreat when they saw him. However, this kid in front of her did not show any signs of fear. What kind of background did he have? Have you eaten? Xianxia turned off the computer and asked the two of them. His tone was calm as if he was not surprised at all. Bigot. Little Qi quickly replied, he tutored me with my homework. As a thank you gift, I accompanied him for dinner. There's no need to be reserved in front of me. I won't ask you to do anything. Master Xiao looked like a reasonable and kind father. He could even be said to be gentle and easygoing. However, Only He Yanji knew that there was still a second half hidden in Master Zhao's heart. That was, as long as he made a mistake, did not cherish the opportunity to be with little Qi, or let little Qi suffer any harm, Master Zhao would record it for him. Eighth brother, what's going on? Mama Sheng couldn't stand it anymore. She sat on the sofa and asked. It didn't look like they were meeting for the first time. You guys go up and play. Xianxia asked Miki to show He Yanji around. His intention was to send the two of them away so that they would not be embarrassed. Let's go to my room. Little Qi couldn't wait. After saying that, she held He Yanji's hand and hurried upstairs. Eighth brother, this child is Wanwan's classmate? Where did he come from? How could you allow them to be together? Wanwan is only 17 years old. Mom, I tacitly agreed to this. I know what I'm doing, Xianxia answered Mama Xing seriously. You don't believe in my judgment? So, you know He Yanji very well? Mama Xing's expression softened a little. If I don't let your granddaughter worry about me for 5 years, she will do even more outrageous things in the future. Then what does his family do? Mama Xing continued to ask, afraid that little Qi would lead the child astray. Xianxia did not hide anything and told Mama Xing everything about He Yanji's family background. After Mama Xing heard this, she both sympathized with He Yanji and felt that he was in danger. Are you really at ease to join the underworld at such a young age? Won't we know if we keep walking? Xianxia still had a carefree attitude because he knew very well that if little Qi didn't really like He Yanji, then the two of them would separate on their own before long. Life and feelings needed to be felt and experienced by the people involved. Bystanders, even parents, did not have the right to interfere. Back then, I thought that when Wanwan reached the age of dating, you would definitely strongly oppose and stop her. Once you found out that there was such a daring boy, you would definitely make him disappear from the face of the earth. Chapter 11:11. He Yanji naturally couldn't pretend that he didn't hear it. Therefore, he immediately replied with a troubled expression, Brother Long, don't make fun of me. You have so many capable subordinates under you. Why would you need someone like me who has no ambition and just eats and drinks? You don't know how to appreciate favors. Brother Long's subordinate immediately became angry. He looked at He Yanji aggressively and scolded, Since our boss is looking for you, it means that he thinks highly of you. How dare you not know what's good for you? He Yanji looked at him with a smile. He was not angry at all. Please forgive me, Brother Long. It's fine, but don't jump to conclusions too early. Who knows, one day you might be willing to look for Brother Long. Brother Long took a deep puff of his cigar and pinched the woman beside him. I always believe that in this world the winner is king. I heard that you have a little girlfriend. Before I answer this question, let me ask you something first. Have you heard of Xianxia? Who doesn't know Xianxia? Brother Long answered matter-of-factly, as if He Yanji had asked an extremely ridiculous question. My girlfriend is Xianxiao's daughter. If she offends you in the future, I hope you can forgive her. He Yanji gave Brother Long a warning in advance. He wasn't trying to show off, but to remind him that some people could be touched and some people couldn't. After Brother Long heard this, there was an obvious change in his expression. He had indeed wanted to start with He Yanji's girlfriend at the beginning, but it seemed that it wouldn't work now. Not only that, but it had become even more complicated for him to rope He Yanji in. Brother Long, this kid dares to look down on you because he's bold. Brother Long's subordinate was a little unconvinced. What kind of amazing person was he? Why couldn't he touch him? At that moment, the voice of Brother Long's subordinate came from outside the private room. Brother Long, Brother Yang is here. So fast. Brother Long looked at He Yanji with interest. It seems that I really can't underestimate your loyalty. He Yanji couldn't deny it. Soon the familiar laughter reached their ears. Then the door of the private room was pushed open. He Yanji turned around and saw his boss. He quickly stood up to welcome him. Brother Yang. If I had come a little later, would my left arm have been chopped off by someone? Brother Yang waved his hand and sat down next to He Yanji. Long Xiao, it's not nice of you to do this, right? Old Westerner, your man is indeed extraordinary. I asked him to help me, but he rejected me. Brother Dragon laughed. I'm so jealous of you. You don't have to be envious. This is my brother who has gone through life and death with me. Naturally, he can't be with you. Today I will make it clear. Don't have any ideas about Yanji. I will fight you to the death. The two of them made their attitudes clear in their jokes. For a moment the atmosphere in the private room was surging. Then it was Brother Dragon who nodded and admitted defeat. Alright, I'll remember what you said. That person. I'll take him with me. I really hope you can always trust him like this. Before the two of them left, Brother Long wanted to plant a bomb between them. However, the two of them did not respond. Brother Yang, I trust you. Brother Yang patted Xianxia on the shoulder. I trust you more than you think. Go back and rest. Chapter 11-12. After Xianxia sent Brother Yang away, he got into his car. Inside the car, Zhichu was already ready to go out. Brother He, this Brother Long isn't as scary as I imagined. Xianxia glanced at Zhichu from the rearview mirror and said, Do you believe it? Tonight you're their target. Why? Because I've made it clear that your sister-in-law is the daughter of the Xing family. That Long guy won't dare to do anything to your sister-in-law, and you're the only one left by my side. How safe do you think you'll be? Xianxia explained to Zhichu very seriously. Sleep in my room tonight. Is it really necessary? You can install a camera in your room to see. Xianxia answered him with a serious expression. All these years Jianchuan has been suppressed by Zhongting, so all the gangs didn't dare to go overboard. Over time they retreated from the banditry that gangs should have. Even Brother Yang rarely got involved in things that risked his life. But this Brother Long is different. This Brother Long has killed people before. Hearing the word people, Zhichu was stunned for a moment. He obviously understood the seriousness of the matter. However, the two of them did not expect that when they rushed back to the hotel, Xianxia would find that their room had been carefully decorated. The room was lit with incense and candles, and there were roses everywhere on the table and bed. There was also an exquisite cake on the coffee table. Brother He. This. While the two of them were surprised, little Qi walked out of the bedroom wearing Xianxia's shirt. Xianxia's face turned green, and Zhichu immediately turned his head. This was his sister-in-law. He didn't dare to blaspheme her. Seeing this, Xianxia quickly pushed little Qi back into the bedroom. Why are you here? I just wanted to give you a surprise. It seems like you were frightened, right? Little Qi quickly wrapped her clothes around herself. Xianxia couldn't help but hold little Qi in his arms. He could have enjoyed the two of them tonight, but now he had to ensure Zhichu's safety. So before little Qi took off her shirt, he covered little Qi's head and kissed her on the head. I'm sorry, Xiaowan. I might not be able to have a romantic night tonight because I have to bring a third wheel. What's going on? Little Qi took off the shirt and asked. Zhichu might be in danger, so I let him sleep in the guest room. That's easy. Just chase him back to his room, little Qi said bluntly. Tonight, alright, I got it. You're not in the mood for romance. Little Qi could tell from his eyes that since Zhichu was in danger, he naturally wouldn't stand by and do nothing. You sleep first. I'll be in the living room, okay? Xianxia held little Qi's face and kissed her. Will you go back to your room? It depends. I'll guard you guys. After Xianxia said that, he patted little Qi's face again, turned around and walked out of the bedroom. Zhichu was outside the door. When he saw everything that little Qi had set up, he felt guilty and said to Xianxia, Brother He, why don't I go back to my room? Sister-in-law spent a lot of effort to decorate it. It's not good to ruin it. Xianxia took off his coat and placed it on the sand. He only instructed Zhichu, go in and sleep. You have no right to ask about anything else. All right. Zhichu felt as if he had destroyed Xianxia's wedding night. He felt very guilty. However, he didn't dare to disobey Xianxia's orders, so he could only enter the guest room with a guilty conscience. When Xianxia saw this, he went out alone and went to the next room to make some arrangements. Then he returned to the living room and lay down on the sand. He also wanted to have a woman in his arms, but he also had to protect his own people. This was a man's responsibility. Chapter 11-13. However, some people were destined to be dishonest, especially in the middle of the night. She went straight out of the bedroom and quietly squatted beside Xianxia. In the darkness, Xianxia was very vigilant. He felt a black shadow in front of him, so he got up and pressed the other party to the sand. Little Qi quickly patted the sand in pain. It's me. After Xianxia heard this, he let go of his hand, but he still pressed down on little Qi. What are you doing out here in the middle of the night? You're right outside. How can I sleep inside? Little Chi lay on the sand and let Xianxia press down on her back. However, their posture was too ambiguous. Soon, Little Chi felt the change in the man's body temperature behind her. You still don't plan to let go of me? Xianxia understood. He helped her up and placed her on the sand. You know it's dangerous, but you still came out. Are you referring to yourself by the danger you're talking about? I think you're the one who's plotting against me. Little Chi raised her head and looked at Xianxia. There was only a weak light coming in from the window, but Xianxia seemed to see Little Chi's proud expression. Why are you still making a fuss if you know? Xianxia took the opportunity to pinch her slender waist. Xianxia, if someone wants us to separate and their attitude is very firm, what would you do? Little Chi suddenly asked Xianxia seriously. Xianxia was silent for a few seconds. In the darkness, he pinched Little Chi's palm. I want to ask you this too. After all, from my point of view, you have many better choices. Answer me first. Little Chi was very persistent. Xianxia fell into deep thought again. After pausing for a moment, he replied, Shaowan, it's too shallow between us to talk about this anymore. What lifelong promise? I can't give you that long. I feel that only you can understand how strong the feelings in the depths of my heart are. Do you still need me to answer this question? You men are not likable at all. No matter how much you do, you don't like to say it out loud and let women know. Little Chi slowly moved closer to Xianxia's arms and wrapped her arms around his waist. I'm not afraid that you'll give up on me. I just don't like you to be wronged, especially when those grievances were brought to you by my family. I'll feel even worse. Do you know something? Xianxia keenly sensed Little Chi's emotions and the reason why she wanted to stay the night. I don't know anything. Zhichu, that big mouth. How smart was Xianxia? How could he be so easily fooled? You also know that Zhichu is very loyal to you. I just casually interrogated him and he confessed everything. Don't blame him. Besides. Little Chi raised her head and looked at Xianxia's chin in the darkness. How can you have the nerve to talk about him? Why didn't you tell me about my grandma? Because I don't think it's a grievance. Xianxia hooked her chin and replied, It's normal for your family to worry about you. But I can't see you being bullied. Little Chi took the opportunity to hold his hand. After Xianxia heard this, he couldn't help but laugh. He carried Little Chi on his legs and sat down. I think you really don't know how dangerous you are. What did my grandmother say to you? Of course I should say it. Xianxia insisted on not revealing anything. Anyway, she didn't object to us being together, so you have to continue to respect her. Little Chi opened her mouth and was about to answer. However, Xianxia suddenly covered Little Chi's mouth and shushed her. Chapter 11:14. Little Chi immediately fell silent. A moment later, she saw Xianxia put her on the sand and whispered, No matter what you hear, don't come out. Little Chi reached out and wanted to grab Xianxia, but he was too fast. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared from the door of the room and went next door. Little Chi suddenly thought that she was not weak. Why did she hide here and let him face the danger alone? Thinking of this, Little Chi followed him out and saw that the door next door was open, and Xianxia was at the door of Zhichu's bedroom. What's wrong? Little Chi walked to Xianxia's side and saw that the pillow on Zhichu's bed had been chopped into pieces. It was a dummy that Xianxia had deliberately set up. There was a pillow in the bedding. This is why you let Zhichu sleep in your room. There are some experts around that long guy. After Xianxia said that, he led Little Chi back to his room. Go in and sleep. What about Zhichu? The other party didn't succeed. He knows that I'm on guard, so he won't make a move so soon, Xianxia replied. Then there's nothing to be afraid of. Xianxia didn't say anything because he didn't know how to answer. Gang members were the most vengeful. Some people could endure for many years just to pay the price for finding their enemies. Then why don't you go in? Little Chi looked at Xianxia in confusion and tugged at him. You want me to stay in the room alone again? Xianxia was unmoved. He only said with a hint of warning, When you have your 18th birthday, I don't need your invitation at all. After Little Chi heard this, she didn't move. A moment later, she lay down on the sand. If you don't go in, I won't go in either. We'll sleep outside, and keep watch for Zhichu. Xianxia couldn't help but tense up and his head hurt. Did this little woman know that he was about to reach the limit of his endurance? Come on. Little Chi patted the spot beside her. It's very spacious. Xianxia was helpless. He put on his clothes and lay down beside little Qi. He saw little Qi turn over and lie on his chest. There was a smile in her words. I'm just teasing you like this. It's quite fun. You used to be so bad, but after 5 years you've restrained yourself? This big boss is really useless. Only you would dare to play me like this. Xianxia was angry and helpless. I haven't seen you fight so fiercely. What's it like? Xian subconsciously touched the hideous scar on the back of his hand. It was an unforgettable experience. I saved Brother Yang's life. I pulled him back from the hands of 3 assassins. Because of that, my hand was almost crippled. What was it like at that time? Little Qi touched the back of his hand because she couldn't imagine how heavy the cut was to leave such a scar. The hand was attached from the back. At that time, only a layer of skin was left. Do you regret taking this path? Little Qi asked gently. At that time, I had no other choice. Brother Nan betrayed me and my uncle was also involved. That was the only way I could save my life. Only then could I seek justice for Aunt Hong and Grandma. I just feel sorry for you. But I've never really hated you. I'm very satisfied that my beloved can return to my side, little Qi answered warmly. Chapter 11:15. Just like that, the young couple spent the night in the living room. The next morning, Zhichu came out of the bedroom and saw Xianxia and little Qi hugging each other and sleeping on the sofa. He quickly left Xianxia's room quietly and returned next door. However, when he saw the pillow on the bed that had been chopped into a mess, he still had a lingering fear. As expected, Brother He's calculations were accurate. He knew that the man surnamed Long was not an ordinary person. However, Xianxia did not sleep well because he soon received a call from Brother Yang. Something happened in the imperial court last night. Come and negotiate with the police. Got it, Brother Yang. Xianxia sat up from the sofa. Seeing that little Qi was sleeping soundly, he did not disturb her. He just looked at the time. It was only a little past 6, so he got up and went to the kitchen. After making breakfast, Xianxia turned to the second bedroom. Now that Zhichu had already gone out, he had probably seen the tragic situation in the bed next door. This was also a reminder to him that he had to be careful in the future. However, this man surnamed Long could not be allowed to continue. At 7 o'clock in the morning, little Qi woke up from the sofa and found that Xianxia had already washed up and prepared breakfast. This was the first time little Qi had seen Xianxia wearing a leather coat. In addition, Xianxia was wearing black gloves. The man's handsome and cold aura was completely revealed on his body. Why could a man be so handsome in a leather coat? Are you stunned? Xianxia pulled out a chair for her and waved. Wash up. After breakfast, Zhichu will send you to school. I have to go deal with something. Deal with what kind of thing? Little Qi really wanted to see what Xianxia looked like when he dealt with things. It has nothing to do with you. Hurry up. Xianxia waved. It's not like I'll lose a piece of meat if you let me go and take a look. I'll just lose a piece of meat. After saying that, Xianxia quickly walked to little Qi and pulled her to the dining table. Just leave it after you're done eating. I'm going out first. Okay, little Qi agreed verbally and did not struggle anymore. Xianxia was afraid that little Qi would follow him, so he went out early. However, he had no idea that not long after he went out, little Qi quickly called Zhichu and followed behind Xianxia. However, Xianxia was very vigilant, so Zhichu didn't dare to get too close. In the end, he even lost him. Little Qi was a little distressed. According to this path, guess where your brother he went? Zhichu thought about it and his eyes lit up. Imperial Dynasty. Hearing these 2 words, little Qi knew that it was the biggest nightclub in Jianchuan. Previously, Brother Nan was in charge of it, but this place had been taken back by Xianxia. He had already returned it to Brother Yang. Nothing good can come to this place so early in the morning. Sure enough, when the 2 of them arrived near the imperial court, they saw Xianxia standing at the entrance of the imperial court. At his feet was a corpse covered with a white cloth. There were police officers all around. When the current person in charge of the imperial court saw Xianxia appear, it was as if he had seen his savior. Brother He, you're finally here. What's going on? Xianxia asked solemnly. I don't know how, but he died in our imperial court. The police are investigating the cause. How are we going to do business like this? Xianxia squatted down, lifted the white cloth, took a look and then covered it. You are the real person in charge of the imperial court? The police officer at the side sized Xianxia up and asked. Comrade Police, is there a problem? Xianxia asked. There's a big problem. Wait for our forensic doctor's autopsy report. The police were unwilling to say more. They only asked the people of the imperial court to cooperate with the investigation. Moreover, it was impossible for them to open for business in the near future. Chapter 11:16. Brother He, someone has set us up. I know. Xianxia replied calmly to the manager of the imperial court. Go down and gather the information first. Prepare a copy of this person's information for me. Since the other party has already made a move, we can't be too passive. Also, gather all the employees of the imperial court. I have questions to ask. Okay, I'll do it right away. But Brother He, there's something that I'm very worried about. You know, the imperial court used to be Brother Nan's territory. There have been many dirty tricks done here in the past. If the police investigate, it might not be easy to explain. In the end, the manager was just a manager. He was afraid of taking responsibility. Even though he had just taken office, he had heard enough about the imperial court. I'm afraid that the imperial court might not be able to hold on. This isn't something you should worry about. Xianxia patted him on the shoulder. Just do what I tell you to do. Okay. With Xianxia's words, the manager felt much more at ease. He turned around and went back to the imperial court to get busy. Xianxia took out his phone and called Brother Yang first. Then he waited for the forensic team of the police. However, Xianxia never expected that the person who came to do the autopsy would be his mother-in-law. When Mu Qiqi appeared in front of the imperial court, even little Qi, who was hiding at the side, was shocked. It was a little awkward to meet under such circumstances. Mu Qiqi was not as relaxed as she was at home. When she arrived at the scene, she only glanced at Xianxia before squatting in front of the corpse. She put on rubber gloves and carefully examined it. The preliminary conclusion is that the victim died of asphyxiation. The time of death was between 2 and 4 in the morning. There were no obvious injuries on the body. We still need to collect samples for a poison test. I want to see the crime scene. Manager, bring the forensic doctor in. Xianxia pretended that he had never seen Mu Qiqi before and spoke in a businesslike tone. Are you in charge of this place? Mu Qiqi asked meaningfully when she entered the imperial court. I'm the current person in charge. Xianxia answered in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. You don't feel guilty at all. Because I know that forensic Dr. Mu will definitely give the most impartial judgment. But, can your place withstand an inspection? How insightful was Mu Qiqi? How could he not know about the impact this matter had on the imperial dynasty? Whether I can take it or not, I will cooperate, Xianxia answered Mu Qiqi seriously. If you offend someone, you should deal with it immediately. I trust my daughter's judgment. Don't let me down. With that, Mu Qiqi led the forensic team into the crime scene. After Xianxia heard this, he followed her into the imperial court's private room. Outside the door, little Qi was lying under a big tree not far away. She was anxious. What did the two of them say? Her mother did not bully or make things difficult for Xianxia, did she? Half an hour later, Mu Qiqi left the private room with her team. When she left the imperial court, she said to Xianxia, I still need to examine the corpse further. Xianxia, cooperate at any time. I won't let you down. Thank you, Auntie. Tisk, he's handsome no matter how I look at him. No wonder my daughter is so distracted. Don't bully her. When everyone heard about the relationship between Mu Qiqi and Xianxia, they were surprised. After all, Xianxia was a gangster. Everyone in the forensic team knew that. But how could Mu Qiqi dare to hand her daughter over to such an outlaw? Don't worry, Auntie. I cherish her very much. That's enough. See you later. With that, Mu Qiqi left with her team. At this time, someone in the team asked Mu Qiqi, Forensic Dr. Mu, this young man can't be your son-in-law, right? Chapter 11:17. Why? Mu Qiqi narrowed her eyes and turned to ask. He seems to be the boss here. He seems to be from the underworld. A young male forensic doctor answered Mu Qiqi, trembling with fear. After Mu Qiqi heard this, she smiled and answered, I understand. At your age, the world is either black or white, and good and bad are clearly distinguished. After all, I was also young once. I can understand your hatred of evil, But this world is often not as simple as you see it. Whether he can be my son-in-law or not, I have my own judgment. I believe in my daughter's choice. The few forensic doctors behind her opened their mouths at the same time, but they couldn't say anything because they really didn't expect the Xing family's upbringing to be so valiant. Mu Qiqi actually allowed her daughter to find an outlaw. Mu Qiqi knew that others couldn't accept it, but she didn't care about other people's opinions. It would be a pity if a handsome guy like He Yanji didn't become her son-in-law, okay? Not far away, He Yanji watched his mother-in-law leave. Just as he was frowning and guessing what she was thinking, little Qi ran over from under the tree. What did my mom say to you? When He Yanji saw little Qi appear, he immediately raised his hand and looked at his watch. Why are you here? It's already time for class. If I didn't come to see you, how would I know that you're involved in a murder case? After He Yanji heard this, he pulled little Qi to the side and carefully reminded her, this matter has nothing to do with you. I can handle it. Go back to class immediately, okay? He Yanji, I can ignore it and go to class immediately, but you can't hide everything from me because I don't want to hear the news that you've been arrested and brought to the police station in just one day when I'm done with class. Little Qi grabbed He Yanji's arm and didn't let go. Are you going to leave without saying goodbye a second time? He Yanji was stunned for a moment and softened his attitude. He reached out and rubbed little Qi's head. I'm just here on Brother Yang's orders to cooperate with the police investigation. I'm also confused about the death, but I can promise you that I won't be implicated in this matter, okay? Really? You won't? I was with you last night. This can't be blamed on me, right? He Yanji chuckled. So, my little girlfriend, can you let me rest assured first? Why don't you feel at ease? You're always afraid that I'll leave. Do I really make you feel so insecure? He Yanji hugged little Qi helplessly and asked. What do you think? Forget it, I'll send you to school. He Yanji knew that little Qi's aftereffects were very serious, so he felt extremely guilty. You don't care about this place anymore? The people below know how to deal with them first. He Yanji pulled little Qi into the car and personally sent her to the entrance of Jianchuan Middle School. However, after arriving, little Qi did not get out of the car immediately. Instead, she tilted her head and looked at He Yanji. You won't tell me what Grandma said to you. What about my mother? What did my mom say to you? He Yanji held the steering wheel and couldn't help but laugh. If they don't like me, are you going to oppose the whole world? Of course. Little Qi answered matter-of-factly, my grandmother has my grandfather, my mother has my father, but you only have me. After hearing this, He Yanji was very touched. He couldn't help but hold little Qi's chin, bring her closer to him and kiss her. Chapter 11:18. How can I bear to let you and your family go against each other? Your grandmother and mother don't hate me. I'm serious. After the kiss, He Yanji answered little Qi very seriously. So, can you please stop letting your imagination run wild? There are no despicable mothers-in-law in this world, and there are no parents who would break up a couple. Don't look at these things all day long. Besides, this matter will be over soon. Little Qi didn't know how He Yanji was going to deal with it. She could only try her best to trust him. I can trust you, but don't always treat me like a child. I'm about to become an adult. There's still more than half a year. He Yanji replied casually. Do you think I haven't endured it hard? Little Qi's face suddenly heated up and she quickly got out of the car. Pick me up tonight. Aren't you going home tonight? I want to accompany you. Little Qi's answer was natural and carried a hint of coquettishness. This immediately made He Yanji have an urge, an extreme urge. He wanted nothing more than to pull her back immediately, press her into the front passenger seat and kiss her until the end of time. However, this little troublemaker was not mature enough for him to take whatever he wanted. As a result, He Yanji could only resist the urge in his heart and drive away after little Qi entered the school gate. Soon He Yanji returned to the imperial court. At this time, all the employees of the imperial court were standing at the luxurious entrance of the imperial court, waiting for orders. He Yanji walked over and saw the manager immediately come up to him. Brother He, I've cleared out the people who were still working between 2 and 4 o'clock last night. I've also taken out the surveillance footage. What else do you need? I don't need anything. He Yanji shook his head. Then I'll go deal with other things first. Wait a minute, what were you doing at that time last night? Xianxia suddenly grabbed the manager and asked, "Also, don't leave yet. You'll take over the questioning. Finally, add your own statement. I'm going to meet a very important person at noon." "Yes, I'm going to meet him." "Okay, give them whatever the police want," Xianxia instructed. "Okay, I'll cooperate fully." Xianxia curled his lips into a faint smile. He held his phone and entered the scene of the Imperial Court's case with Zhichu. "Brother He, are you suspecting the manager?" After all, Zhichu had followed Xianxia for a long time, so he could tell what Xianxia was thinking. If no one helped, who do you think would be able to kill someone in such a secretive manner? "So, I believe that they are working together. The Imperial dynasty isn't like a hotel, it's always full. To kill someone silently under such circumstances, and to be discovered in the morning, do you think it's an accident?" Hearing this, Zhichu nodded his head. "That's impossible. If you treat the manager like this, will he notice something? Although he has always listened to my orders, he has always been unconvinced in his heart. He thinks that I don't have the right to ride on his head, so he definitely won't believe that a brat like me will see through the tricks inside." Xianxia squatted on the ground and carefully observed the scene. "Then you said you were going to meet someone at noon. Who is it?" "Witness." Xianxia answered simply with 2 words. The person surnamed Long knew the person who bribed Brother Yang, so of course he could do the same. After a few dealings, Xianxia knew very well that the people around the person surnamed Long were definitely not loyal servants. They could be bribed. Chapter 11:19. At the same time, the news of the death in the Imperial Court had spread to the surroundings. Other than the fact that the Imperial Court was the largest nightclub in Jianchuan, it was also because there was a person who was deeply gossiped about, and that was Xianxia. He had always been brave and good at fighting, as if it was only a matter of time before he involved human lives. This made the people in the school look at little Qi a little strange. In the past, they didn't dare to get close to her, and now they couldn't wait to avoid her. Only Yanjun dared to continue being little Qi's best friend. Seeing that Yanjun's friends were getting fewer and fewer, little Qi couldn't bear it. She took advantage of the lunch break and said to her, "You'd better stay away from me. Otherwise, you won't have any friends other than me in the future." Yanjun lay on little Qi's body. Because her good friend was here, she felt a little helpless. "What are you talking about? Am I such a shallow person?" "You are. You have no conscience. But then again, did Xianxia really kill someone?" Yanjun asked nosily. Little Qi rolled her eyes and explained unhappily, "Of course not. He's just dealing with the murder case in the Imperial Court. How did these people make him a murderer? It's not like you don't know that your guy is handsome, cool, dangerous, and difficult to conquer. He's always in the middle of the vortex of gossip. Even if those little girls can't get him, they can't help but pay attention to his heart," Yanjun replied with a smile. "By the way, doesn't your family have any objections at all?" Little Qi shook her head. She didn't know about this because both her grandmother and mother had already had a serious conversation with Xianxia. However, Xianxia had never let her know what the content was. When others fall in love, it's sweet. When you fall in love, it's earth-shattering. After little Qi heard this, she snorted loudly. "Do you think I want to? But why did the matter between her and Xianxia have to be magnified?" When school ended, little Qi found the answer. At the school gate, Xianxia was wearing a leather coat and leaning against the car door in a cool manner. His noble aura was natural. With just a glance, people would fall into it. It was no wonder that his matter would cause a huge uproar. "What's wrong?" Xianxia saw that little Qi's expression was strange. He took her school bag and asked gently, "What do you think? Comrade murder?" Little Qi replied angrily. Xianxia frowned slightly and looked at the gazes of the people around him. He discovered that regardless of whether it was a man or a woman, their eyes were filled with avoidance and fear. "Sorry, I didn't know it would have such a big impact." "Boss," he apologized to his concubine. "Do you think I care?" Little Qi sat in the front passenger seat and asked him back. She was a little emotional. "Then what right do these people have to say that about you?" Little Qi explained to Xianxia angrily, "No one pays attention to the truth behind it. As long as it's news about you, they treat it as gossip and exaggerate it wantonly. I can't take it anymore." After hearing little Qi's explanation, Xianxia couldn't help but laugh. He reached out and pinched her face. "I got it. Know what? I'm very happy that you're so protective of me. Yanji laughed from the bottom of his heart. This matter will be resolved soon. You don't have to take it to heart. Go home and do your homework. Do you need tutoring? As long as you want. Yanji agreed readily. The kind where you can kiss me if you do your homework, right? Little Chi asked. Chapter 11:20. It's fine if it's a little bigger, Yanji answered in a good mood. Little Chi was satisfied when she heard that. She finally stopped whining about school matters. But how's the investigation of the murder case going? You really want to hear about it? Yanji asked Little Chi as he drove. Don't think it's complicated. I want to hear about it. Yanji pursed his lips with a faint smile. Then he told the little girl the current situation. The deceased was a single man who lived alone. He was a frequent visitor to the imperial court. When he died, he was in room V3010 in the imperial court. It was between 2 and 4 in the morning. However, the strange thing was that at that time, there was no private room at all in V3010 and there was no service. The surveillance cameras didn't capture any suspicious people. Even the cleaners didn't go in. How did that person die inside? Little Chi listened very seriously. As Mu Chi-Chi's daughter, she had her own sensitivity to this aspect. The police are still investigating. What about you? That's all you know? Little Chi didn't believe it. Yanji's brain was too smart. Sometimes she even suspected that Yanji was her father's child with someone else. At that time, the manager was serving a regular customer in V2010. He has an alibi. You suspect this manager? Little Chi immediately grasped the main point of Yanji's words. Why do you think so? You didn't say anything to anyone and just directly mentioned this manager. Aren't you suspecting him? Moreover, according to the layout of V2010 and V3010, other than the different floors, the locations of the rooms should be exactly the same. Is there something mysterious about this? After Yanji heard this, he looked at Little Chi approvingly. This girl was really smart. She understood everything. I have a guess, so I'll go to the forensics laboratory of the Jianchuan branch tomorrow morning. You're going to see my mom again, right? Yanji knew what she was worried about, so he asked, Tomorrow is Saturday. Do you want to go with me? Yes, in case my mom bullies you. Little Chi nodded heavily. Then after we go back to the hotel, you can't mention the murder case anymore. Just focus on your homework, okay? Yanji made his request. Got it, teacher. After returning to the hotel, Yanji led Little Chi into the room and signaled her with his eyes to take out her homework. He went to the bedroom to make a call. Although the Sheng family indulged Little Chi, he had to follow the rules. He had to report to Xianxia in advance that Little Chi was not going home. Then he returned to the living room. At this time, Zhichu also took out something and looked at Yanji with some difficulty. Brother I've already gotten what you wanted. Send it to the place I told you. But, is this really okay? Zhichu was a little worried. Yanji wanted the Imperial Court's account book. It was divided into 2 parts. One was when Brother Nan was in charge and the other was after he took back the Imperial Court. In addition, there was a list of names. He believed that the police would like this list. If you don't want to be stabbed by the traitor, then do as I say. Alright, I'll go right away. Zhichu could not think of Yanji's methods and he was not as thoughtful as Yanji. He was simply afraid that things would get out of hand and Brother Yang would use him as a shield in the future. Yanji nodded and took off his leather coat. Then he sat down behind Little Chi and held her with both hands. Teacher the lesson has begun. Little Chi turned her head and tried her best to kiss him. Teach me this first. Yanji lowered his head and kissed Little Chi's red lips. I'll give you a question. If you do 80% right, I'll agree to your kiss. If you do 100% right, I'll let you do whatever you want. Really? Little Chi's eyes lit up. Really? Little Chi immediately became excited and told Yanji, it can't be too difficult. If the police come to investigate, just cooperate. Yanji deliberately revealed this news to the manager before he left. Hey brother I know what to do, the manager answered cautiously. Yanji left with Zhichu and then he heard Zhichu's question. Brother why did you let this manager know so much? If I didn't do this, how could I force him to reveal himself? Xianxia asked Ji meaningfully. Don't worry about it. This case will be solved tomorrow. Really? Ji was confused. This case was still a mess. It would be solved tomorrow? Go back to sleep. Tomorrow it'll be someone else's headache. Xianxi's face was relaxed because as long as he thought about hugging his little wife to sleep later, his heart would be filled with excitement. Chapter 11:22. The next morning Xianxia bought 3 breakfasts, brought his wife and went straight to the Jianchuan branch's forensics laboratory. The police officers from the branch also knew this new big shot. They brought the Sheng family's daughter and rushed to the forensics laboratory. They didn't know what Forensic Mu was thinking. Was he going to push his daughter into the fire pit just like that? However, this was the Sheng family's matter after all. It didn't seem like others could interfere. Just by looking at his looks, Xianxia was indeed a rare handsome man. Some people would even believe it if they said he was a celebrity. When they arrived at the forensics laboratory, Mu Qiqi had just started work. Little Qi was very good at pleasing her mother. She handed the breakfast Xianxia had bought to her mother. Although you might have eaten at home, Xianxia still bought it. Put it there. I'll destroy it when I'm hungry later. Mu Qiqi put on her white coat and gloves and looked at Xianxia. Tell me what you're thinking. I found some suspicious traces in room 21, especially on the windowsill. So, I suspect that the victim was killed in room 21 and was thrown into room 31 by the murderer through the windowsill. Is there such a possibility? After Mu Qiqi heard Xianxi's guess, she handed him the autopsy report. There are indeed 2 kinds of marks on the victim's neck. One is the strangulation mark of an adult man's right hand. In addition, we found fibers on his neck. It should be a kind of rope. So your guess is not unreasonable. Everyone focused on room 31, but they relaxed the examination of room 21. This also gave the murderer time to destroy the evidence. I secretly left the surveillance footage of room 21 that night as well as the traces left on the windowsill, Xianxia answered Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi looked at Xianxia approvingly and nodded. Then this case will be easy to solve. Xianxia thought so too. He handed over all the evidence to the police. However, just as Xianxia was about to leave the branch with little Qi, the police and the team stopped him. Your people from the Imperial Court have sent a document. I need you to cooperate with an investigation. As expected, they're taking action. Xianxia sneered. Xianxia. Little Qi was a little nervous. Didn't the death have nothing to do with Xianxia? It's okay. Wait for me for 10 minutes. I promise I'll come out. Xianxia patted the back of little Qi's hand to comfort her. Although little Qi was worried, she still chose to believe him. After that, Xianxia followed the criminal police into the interrogation room, while little Qi went to the forensics laboratory. Why aren't you leaving? Mom, this has nothing to do with Xianxia, right? Mu Qiqi crossed her arms and snorted. It's good enough that he doesn't scheme against others. That brain of his is not something that can be compared to. Don't worry. So, are you praising him? Little Qi immediately became excited. Who was it that called me last night and asked me to let that kid go? Mu Qiqi pinched her daughter's face. You're really like me. You know that he doesn't need your protection, but you're still worried. Little Qi leaned on her mother's shoulder and rubbed hard. You're the one who taught me to love people. Mu Qiqi looked down at her daughter. She was a little disgusted, but there was nothing she could do. With her genes, she could not be reserved. In the interrogation room, the police opened the document and asked Xianxia, "This is a report. Do you know about it?" I know, Xianxia answered calmly. Chapter 11:23. Then how can you be so calm? The interrogator looked at Xianxia in disbelief. He was so young, but he was a big shot. Who knew how many dirty things he had done behind the scenes and how many lives he had taken? Xianxia didn't say anything. He just took out his phone, found a phone number and dialed it in front of the police. Be serious. You can't make a phone call now, the police officer immediately scolded. Xianxia was unmoved. He threw the phone to the interrogator. Listen to what your boss has to say. The other party took the phone and put it to his ear in confusion. At first his expression was cold, but a minute later he began to nod and bow respectfully. Sure enough, in less than 10 minutes Xianxia walked out of the interrogation room unscathed. Little Qi immediately went up to him, grabbed his arm and asked, "How was it?" "I'm fine." Xianxia comforted little Qi. "It's good. I'll take you to watch a good show." After saying that, Xianxia held little Qi's hand and got out of the car, leaving behind the police officer who was interrogating Xianxia with a face full of confusion. What was this kid's identity? On the way back, little Qi couldn't hold back her curiosity and asked Xianxia, "What did they say to you?" The manager of the imperial court handed the account book to the police and also reported that the imperial court was engaged in illegal business. Xianxia explained calmly. According to him, the police can use these things to find out Brother Yang's background. After all, Brother Nan was also Brother Yang's underling. "Are you sure it's the manager? Other than him, no one else has access to such a detailed account book." Little Qi nodded. "That's true. Things won't get more and more complicated, right?" "Is it complicated?" Xianxia didn't think much of it. "The case has already been solved. In a while we'll know all the answers." After saying that, Xianxia sped up the car and returned to the imperial court as fast as he could. Because of the murder case, the imperial court was closed for investigation. It was no longer as lively and prosperous as before. Xianxia pushed open the door of the imperial court and saw Zhichu coming up to him. He secretly said to Xianxia, "Brother He, the manager didn't escape. Did you misunderstand him? Invite the manager to the office," Xianxia instructed Zhichu. "Then send your sister-in-law back to the hotel." "I'm not going back." Little Qi looked around the hall of the imperial court. This was the first time she had come to such a place for fun. Of course she had to have fun. Xianxia reached out and pulled little Qi in front of him. He told her seriously, "Didn't you ask me what your grandmother said to me before? Not letting you appear in this kind of place is one of the conditions I promised her. Do you want to make things difficult for me?" Little Qi pouted unhappily. "Will you listen to me?" Little Qi took a deep breath and finally nodded in compromise. "All right then. I'll listen to you for now. When he became an adult he would have to think about it carefully. Zhichu, take good care of sister-in-law." Xianxia pushed little Qi to Zhichu. "Don't worry, Brother He." Zhichu stood at the side and replied solemnly. Little Qi walked out of the imperial court with some disappointment. She got into Xianxia's car and waited for Zhichu to send her back to the hotel. It turned out that Xianxia had promised her grandmother such a thing. Since they were talking about conditions, then her grandmother should have made it difficult for that fool. "Sister-in-law, just listen to Brother He. No matter what, he won't hurt you. It's always for your own good." On the way back, Zhichu helped Xianxia put in a good word for him in front of little Qi. Chapter 11:24. I know he's doing this for my own good. However, little Qi was worried that Xianxia would mistreat himself for her own good. In the manager's office in the imperial court, Xianxia sat on the office chair with two subordinates standing behind him. He was waiting for the manager's arrival. The account book had already been handed over. Logically speaking, the manager's goal should have been achieved, but he didn't take the opportunity to escape. Could it be that there was something he wanted here? "Brother He, you're looking for me?" The manager pushed the door open and entered. His tone was no different from usual. "It's not a big deal. It's just that I went to the Jianchuan branch office in the morning and was detained. I was interrogated for 10 minutes. Xianxia answered slowly as he adjusted his gloves. "Is it because of the murder case?" "Manager, where is the account book of the imperial court?" Xianxia saw that the manager was still trying to escape, so he went straight to the point. "This." The manager was stunned for a moment, then said cunningly, "You asked me to cooperate with the police investigation, so I handed it over to the police. The police didn't want to investigate the business of the imperial court. I already asked before I left." Xianxia mercilessly exposed him. After saying that, Xianxia placed the account book he had taken from the police on the desk. "Aren't you being too careless?" Seeing this, the manager's expression changed. He knew that he couldn't hide it anymore, so he said, "I didn't expect you to collude with the police." "You're wrong." Xianxia sneered and got up from the chair. "I've already divided your so-called account book into 2 parts and handed it over to the police in advance. As for your report on the criminal transactions of the imperial court, I've already handed it over to the police. You schemed against me." The manager immediately understood that he had fallen into Xianxi's trap. No one killed people in 301 because you killed people there and then dumped the bodies there. You wanted to ruin the reputation of the imperial court and take the opportunity to suppress Brother Yang. Am I right? Seeing that his plan had been exposed, the manager no longer hid it. I underestimated you. You call me Brother He on the surface, but you've always been unconvinced, right? What kind of conditions did that long guy give you to make you betray Brother Yang? That's none of your business. The manager tilted his head, unwilling to reveal more. Of course it's none of my business, but don't forget what happened in the 21st century will be found out sooner or later. At that time you won't be facing me but the police, Xianxia said coldly as he leaned against the edge of the office chair. You won't be able to find any evidence. I've already destroyed it. Are you talking about surveillance or something else? Xianxia raised the manager. The few people who entered 21 are all suspects. Looking at the time, the police have already taken action. Do you think they will confess to you? The manager was stunned again. Don't blame me for not giving you a chance. What else does Long want from me? The manager's psychological defense was broken bit by bit, but he still hoped to get lucky. It's fine if you don't want to tell me. Xianxia clenched his fists and grabbed the manager's lapel. Do you think you still have a choice? You've probably heard how I got to where I am today. Do you want to have a taste of my fist? Brother He, let us handle this kind of thing. The two henchmen behind Xianxia immediately stepped forward and said, No need. Xianxia directly threw the man out. I don't like it when people are backstabbed. Either tell me or die. Chapter 11:25. In the eyes of others, Xianxia was rarely ruthless. However, some of Brother Yang's subordinates had seen Xianxia get angry. When the manager saw that Xianxia was really angry, he immediately got up from the ground. I was just greedy for money. I was bribed by Brother Long. He didn't order me to do anything else. I just took a fancy to a woman from Imperial Court and wanted to take her away with me. Do you think I believe that? Xianxia asked. It doesn't matter if you say it or not. Anyway, when we get to the police station you'll spit it all out. When the manager heard the words police station, he immediately waved his hand. I didn't kill her. It was Brother Long's men. Then do you know why your Brother Long needed you to be there at that time? Because if someone dies, none of you can escape responsibility. Do you think you just took the money to help frame Imperial Court? No, you sacrificed yourself. Because once this matter is found out by the police, you and the murderers won't be able to escape. As for him, he only needs to spend some money and use his connections. Who can prove that he hired someone to kill someone? After hearing Xianxia's analysis, the manager became even more terrified. Brother He, I don't want to go to jail. Tell the police everything that needs to be said. Try to get your sentence reduced. After saying that, Xianxia gestured for the two subordinates behind him to send the manager directly to the police station. After that, Xianxia called Brother Yang and briefly explained what had happened, as well as the investigation that Imperial Court might face in the future. After Brother Yang heard this, he was very pleased. You're the most reliable of the few people under you. It doesn't matter if Imperial Court is gone. We still have other shops to support. Most importantly, we can't let the police continue to investigate. Don't worry, the police won't be able to find any more. This was the prerequisite for Xianxia to hand in the list and clues. However, he also added a few new things to the list. Now the one to suffer will be that Long fellow, right? Brother Yang, please wait and watch the show. Xianxia, I only trust you now. Do well. Sooner or later this chair of mine will be yours. After saying that, Brother Yang hung up the phone. However, this made Xianxia frown. It was impossible for him to say that he didn't want to be the boss. After all, he had embarked on this path. However, he believed that Brother Yang was also a good boss. He had never mistreated him. Therefore, he couldn't bring himself to pull Brother Yang down. After handing him over, Xianxia left the Imperial Court. As for the rest, the police would give the Imperial Dynasty an answer. But since they handed over the books, it meant that the Imperial Dynasty was going to seal them up. However, losing an Imperial Dynasty to take down that surnamed Long was worth it. Soon the police arrested and interrogated the people involved. Because there were 5 or 6 people, they set up traps for each other and quickly found out the cause and effect of the murder. Among them, the murderer was Brother Long's underling. Therefore this fire quickly burned onto Brother Long. That was because the clues that Xianxia gave included a few illegal businesses that Brother Long had been involved in after coming from the north. The police quickly summoned Brother Long. Of course, it wasn't a big deal to just summon him. The key was how to take the last few steps. However, just hearing the news that Brother Long had been summoned made Brother Yang feel good. In the hotel, little Qi waited for Xianxia for the entire afternoon. Because she had promised her mother that she would go home today, if Xianxia didn't go home, there would be no need for a date on Saturday. However, since he had something to do, she would spare him. Little Qi picked up her school bag and was about to go home when Xianxia suddenly pushed the door open and came in. "You're leaving." "I'm going home today." Xianxia grabbed little Qi and pressed her against the wall. He lifted her chin and kissed her. "Don't even think about going anywhere." Chapter 11:26. After the kiss, little Qi's face was bright red. She leaned against the wall with an unnatural expression. "But I promised my mother that I would go home today. Have dinner with me before you leave." Xianxia held her hand and said, "2 days ago, you spent so much effort to decorate the room. I haven't enjoyed it yet. I have to make up for it today." Little Qi followed Xianxia back to the living room and was pressed down on the sofa by him. "Sit down. Let me do it today. Is everything settled?" Little Qi couldn't help but ask when she saw him roll up his sleeves. "Don't you trust your husband that much?" Xianxia lowered his head and tidied up the coffee table. Then he pulled little Qi up and pushed her into the bedroom. "Come out when I tell you to." So mysterious. The couple was about to have a sweet dinner when little Qi received a call from Mama Sheng. "You heartless little girl. It's your grandfather's birthday today. Why aren't you home yet?" Little Qi was stunned for a moment before she reacted. No wonder her mother wanted her to go home last night. "I'm sorry, Grandma. I'll be right back." "At least you have a conscience." Mama Sheng wasn't really angry. She just turned her head and thought about little Qi and Xianxia's matter. She became a little serious. "If you want to bring someone home, that's fine. But if your grandfather sees through it, I won't help you." Little Qi glanced at Xianxia and had no intention of avoiding him. She covered Xianxia's hand. "It's my grandfather's birthday. Do you want to go?" Xianxia knew that he wouldn't be able to have the candlelight dinner, but he didn't answer little Qi. He just put on his coat while little Qi was talking to her grandmother. When little Qi hung up, he held little Qi's hand and said, "I'll take you home." "Xianxia, I'm not afraid of your family. I just don't want to embarrass you." Xianxia rubbed little Qi's head and smiled warmly. "I can wait. When the time is right, when you're an adult, I'll get your family to hand you over to me." After hearing this, little Qi tiptoed and hugged Xianxia's neck. "I'll wait for that day." Xianxia picked her up and brought her down the hotel parking lot. Soon he sent little Qi back to the banyan courtyard. Outside the iron gate, little Qi waved at Xianxia. "See you tomorrow." Xianxia leaned against the car door and nodded. "See you tomorrow." It was not that he did not want to appear in front of the Xing family as a boyfriend and tell them the story between him and Xiaowan openly. It was just that his current identity and what he was doing made him lack the confidence to do so. Although he did not think that he had done anything wrong, he did not have enough confidence in front of the Xing family. Lil Wan would be scolded by her family. Lil Wan would be caught in a dilemma between him and her family. This was something he didn't want to see. Therefore he could temporarily endure not being able to join Lil Wan's life. One day he would do it openly. Xianxia prepared himself mentally. Then he turned around and prepared to drive away. However, when he turned around, he saw Tang Xiaobao, who was riding a bicycle to the Xing family's house. The two of them already had a grudge against each other. Now that they met on a narrow road, Tang Xiaobao was naturally not going to be polite. "You can't get in, right?" "I can't get in." Xianxia nodded and admitted. "You better not let me catch you." With that, Tang Xiaobao pushed the bicycle through the iron gate. He only left a view of his back for Xianxia. Chapter 11:27. It had to be said that this was the first time Xianxia was envious of someone else's background. This was because the Tang family could enter this iron door at any time and easily gain the favor and recognition of the Xing family. There was even the possibility of the elders wanting to matchmake the younger generation. Xianxia was so envious that his heart ached. The banyan courtyard was bustling with noise and excitement. Although Papa Xing had already said that he did not want to make a big fuss about his birthday, he was still very happy to see a room full of people coming to celebrate his birthday. The small kitchen in the banyan courtyard had also specially prepared a special birthday banquet for Papa Xing. In fact, Mama Xing and Papa Xing had long moved back to the Xing family. However, Mama Xing still suggested that they celebrate her husband's birthday in the banyan courtyard because she was thinking about little Qi. If she was willing to bring Xianxia, then perhaps she would not be so nervous in the banyan courtyard. However, when she saw little Qi go home alone, she could not tell if she was relieved or a little disappointed. Xianxia, that child, should have both bearing and cultivation. She had thought. Sai Shaoqin, look at that child from the Tang family. He's so good. He's so compatible with Wanwan. While Papa Xing was drinking tea, he sized up the Tang family's Xiaobao. This child was becoming more and more masculine. He was about to become an adult. If he really had feelings for his granddaughter, it would indeed be a good idea to matchmake them. After all, they knew the Tang family very well. Mama Xing frowned and looked at Tang Xiaobao. A moment later she answered her husband, that child from the Tang family is a rare talent, but your granddaughter doesn't like him. You should give up. Papa Xing was a little puzzled. Why would such a talented boy? You'll know in the future. Mama Xing could not expose him, but even without Xianxia's matter, Mama Xing would not have agreed to let Papa Xing matchmake them. If a woman did not marry the man she liked, wouldn't she have lived her life in vain? Papa Xing pouted and looked at his wife. He thought that Mama Xing would like this pair with him. A moment later, Master Xiao entered the living room. Everyone quickly stood up from the living room because of his status as the head of the family. Master Xiao unbuttoned his suit jacket and turned to look at his daughter. There was a questioning look in his eyes as if he was asking, where is everyone else? Little Qi shrugged and did not answer. Xiao did not say anything else. He turned around and returned to the bedroom. A moment later he changed into a set of home clothes and returned to the guests. Little Qi didn't feel good either. In fact, she had the courage to introduce Xianxia to her grandfather, but she also knew Xianxia's concerns. Soon the family gathered around the dining table for the dinner. Papa Xing was happy to see the two children and asked, Zhou Xian, are you in love? Grandpa Xing, I'm not, Tang Xiaobao asked. Then why don't you come here more often recently? You and Wanwan grew up together. No one else can compare to your feelings for each other. Mama Xing pinched her husband's thigh hard under the table at Papa Xing's words. Papa Xing grimaced. You guys eat. Don't mind him. Mama Xing quickly called out to everyone. Master Xiao said. Xiao said. At this moment Xing Xiao put down his chopsticks and looked at his daughter. Could it be that his daughter could not even muster up this bit of courage? Little Qi put down her bowl and chopsticks, then pushed her chair away and left. She ran out of the banyan courtyard. Sure enough, she saw Xianxia's car at the iron gate. Chapter 11:28. Little Qi rushed up and grabbed Xianxia's hand. She led him past the iron gate and directly into the Xing family's hall. Xianxia was stunned, especially when he saw the people in the Xing family's house. He did not expect little Qi to be so brave. Grandpa, this is my boyfriend. Don't try to matchmake him. Little Qi introduced Xianxia to all the family members. Papa Xing looked at the young man who suddenly appeared in the living room in shock. He looked at Xing Xiao and his wife from left to right and found that their expressions were normal. It was obvious that they already knew. Xianxia, on the other hand, was very nervous, but since he was here he would take it easy. So he bowed slightly to Papa Xing and said, Happy birthday. Papa Xing felt a little awkward, so he asked his wife in a low voice, Why didn't you tell me earlier? You're the one who doesn't have good eyesight. Come and sit, Xing Xiao said and gestured for Fifth Aunt to add a chair next to little Qi. At times like this, Xianxia could always show off his good manners. No one could tell that he carried a dangerous and bandit aura. Whose child is this? Papa Xing quickly asked when he saw the situation. Grandpa Xing, my name is Xianxia. Xianxia. Papa Xing muttered the name. He felt that it was a little familiar, but he could not remember it for a while. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before. How could he not have heard of the popular big shot in Jianchuan? Mama Xing thought to herself. At that moment, Tang Xiaobao suddenly put down his bowl and chopsticks and asked Xianxia, "Do you dare to tell the Xing family here what you do?" The atmosphere in the living room suddenly became tense because of Tang Xiaobao's words, especially between Xianxia and Tang Xiaobao. The grudge between them had not just been formed. "Young man, is there some misunderstanding?" Papa Xing immediately tried to smooth things over. "Do you dare?" Tang Xiaobao did not go down the stairs. Instead he continued to be aggressive. In contrast, Xianxia appeared much calmer. He stood up from his chair and bowed to everyone to apologize. He was very straightforward. "I'm very sorry. I'm from the underworld." Dao. Papa Xing was shocked when he heard this. He looked at Xianxia. What was going on? Little Qi really could not bear to see Tang Xiaobao humiliate Xianxia like this. She stood up with a thud and said loudly, "Grandpa, Xianxia and I have known each other for 5 years. I'll tell you the truth. I've liked him for 5 years. No matter how the Xing family views him or his identity, it must be with him." Tang Xiaobao, I know that you have a strong sense of justice and that you have an extraordinary background, but can you not force your way of thinking on others? Could it be that other people are different from what you think, that they don't walk the right path? What righteous path is he taking? Tang Xiaobao pointed at Xianxia and questioned Little Qi. "Little Xian, go back and ask your father who did the meritorious deeds recently." Seeing that the situation was about to get out of control, Master Xiao immediately came out to control the situation. "Some things aren't what you think." Tang Xiaobao opened his mouth but did not say anything because he knew that since Master Xiao said that, there must be a reason behind it. "I don't want to speak up for him, but there are some words that he can't say himself." Everyone understood what Master Xiao meant. It seemed that Xianxi's identity was not that simple. Even Little Qi was shocked. Could it be that there was something Xianxi had not told her? Chapter 11:29. Just as the atmosphere was getting awkward, Mu Qiqi pushed the door open and entered. When she saw the table full of people, she immediately smiled. "Fortunately, I came back in time. Xianxi is here too." "Auntie." Xianxi stood up again and bowed respectfully. Mu Qiqi waved her hand and gestured for him to sit down. Then she walked to Xing Zhao's side and sat down. She asked curiously, "Why don't you all look well?" Tang Xiaobao knew that this matter had started because of him, so he said to Xianxi, "I admit that what I did just now was a little immoral, but I treat Little Qi as my own sister. I don't want her to go astray. We grew up together. I know she suffered a lot for you." Uncle Xiao said that I'll think of a way to figure it out. "If you don't change my mind, I still won't be able to change my attitude towards you. Do you still want to fight? I'll be waiting for you anytime." Xianxi smiled calmly. From this young man's words and actions, Papa Xing could see his good points. He was neither fast nor slow, mature and steady. Even though he was treated like this, he could still restrain himself and be polite. It was no wonder that his son would speak up for him. Seeing that the atmosphere was gradually easing, Little Qi also calmly sat down and said to Tang Xiaobao, "I know you're doing it for my own good. My attitude just now wasn't good. I'm used to it." Tang Xiaobao snorted. However, he was really curious about Xianxi. To be able to make Xing Xiao speak up for him, this kid might not be as simple as he seemed. "This is considered a miracle in our Xing family. I didn't expect 8th brother to tolerate having a son-in-law who's in the underworld. However, kid, I haven't approved of you. We still have to wait and see. Do you know how to play chess?" Papa Xing suddenly asked. Xianxi nodded. "A little. Accompany me later." Papa Xing made the arrangements. He had to find out if this kid had anything in his stomach. Xianxi nodded and agreed. He had no intention of having stage fright at all. After dinner, Xianxi really accompanied Papa Xing to play chess in the living room. At this time, Little Qi saw the lonely Tang Xiaobao in the courtyard, so she walked behind Tang Xiaobao and poked his back. "What's wrong? What does it feel like to like someone?" Tang Xiaobao sat on the chair, not understanding. "You have an ambiguous partner?" Tang Xiaobao turned his head and rolled his eyes at her. "It's because I find it inconceivable that you're willing to sacrifice your life for love. You'll know when you actually encounter it. Is that so?" Tang Xiaobao murmured, then stood up from the chair. "I'm going home to report." "The next time you come, can you not be at odds with Xianxi?" Little Qi asked his back. Depends on my mood. Tang Xiaobao did not turn around. He waved his hand and his figure quickly disappeared at the end of the road. Little Qi returned to the living room and saw an old man and a young man at the coffee table. They were working hard and Papa Sheng would ask He Yanji many questions from time to time. From this, Papa Sheng was certain that He Yanji did not come from a simple background. He was completely different from those people from all walks of life. A person in a grassroots environment could not cultivate the aura of nobility. That kind of natural thing could only be formed in the circle of nobles. Especially when it came to the field of vision, men would only be able to grasp those things easily after they had truly seen it. I'm getting more and more curious about your true identity. Papa Sheng rubbed his chin and said to He Yanji while playing chess. Chapter 1130. The first thing Tang Xiaobao did when he returned home was to look for his father to confirm He Yanji's identity. Since Master Xiao could say that, it was enough to prove that He Yanji was not as simple as he looked. Dad, I told you to pay attention to He Yanji before, right? But you didn't tell me the truth at all. Tang Xiaobao chased after Tang Yan and said, I'm your biological son. So what if you're my biological son? There are some things you shouldn't ask and there are some people you shouldn't know. When you get to the point where even I have to bow my head to you, you can order me to tell you everything, Tang Yan said to Tang Xiaobao sternly. You're right. How is that possible? Tang Xiaobao was unconvinced. I just want to know, does that kid He Yanji have a close relationship with the police? Tang Yan looked down at the newspaper and did not say anything. However, his attitude had already tacitly agreed to everything. I'll find out sooner or later. I don't need you to tell me. Tang Xiaobao saw that his father was unwilling to reveal a single word, so he went back to his room in a fit of pique. Tang Yan knew that this child wanted to be strong. However, He Yanji's identity was an encrypted document. How could he answer casually? Any question related to He Yanji's identity could put his life in danger. In the room, Tang Xiaobao sat on the bed. He felt very uncomfortable because he did not want to admit defeat to He Yanji. However, if He Yanji was really an informant or undercover agent of the police, then it was very likely that he would bring endless trouble to He Yanji. He naturally had the sense of right and wrong. However, if he did not fight with that kid, he would never be able to take it lying down. Little Qi was also so curious that she couldn't sit still. When she saw He Yanji calmly sitting in the living room playing chess with her grandfather, she couldn't help but be curious. She walked to He Yanji's side and sat down. She asked Boss He, what did my father mean by that? Which sentence? Boss He played dumb. The sentence that I asked Tang Xiaobao to go back and ask Uncle Tang. Little Qi glared at him. This person was doing it on purpose to tease her. Then why don't you ask Uncle? You know he won't say it. Little Qi was a little angry and acted shamelessly beside He Yanji. Papa Sheng clicked his tongue when he saw that. It was the first time he saw his granddaughter like that. Sure enough, girls in love were more terrifying. There are some things I can't answer. He Yanji looked at Little Qi with rare patience. Do you understand? Although Little Qi was helpless, she knew that there were some things that she couldn't ask, so she could only give up. Then how long will you be down there? It's already 11 o'clock. Hearing Little Qi's reminder, Papa Sheng raised his hand and looked at his watch. It's really 11 o'clock. Then I won't go downstairs. Then I'll send him home. Little Qi excitedly pulled He Yanji up. I'll spoil you. Papa Sheng couldn't do anything about Little Qi. He quite liked that kid He Yanji. He was a talented man and he was well hidden. He was polite and cultured and he was a big shot in the underworld. He really couldn't tell that he was someone who would use a knife to chop people. Mama Sheng smiled when she saw that her husband was rarely happy. It seems that you have been conquered by this grandson-in-law. Not at all. The most important thing is that Wanwan likes it. Papa Sheng wouldn't admit that he was just messing around. If this child can come and play chess with me often, it wouldn't be bad. Actually, it's not impossible for the Xing family to find a big shot son-in-law, right? Chapter 1131. Why did you conquer my grandfather again? After walking out of the Xing family's iron gate, Little Qi held He Yanji's arm and said, I'm a little jealous. Can't you praise me for doing well? He Yanji held her hand and put it in his pants pocket. After hearing He Yanji's request, little Qi suddenly stopped in her tracks and faced He Yanji. Then she tiptoed and kissed him on the lips. You did well. He Yanji enjoyed it very much. He held little Qi in his arms. After a while he said helplessly, I don't want to let you go, but you have to go home and rest. The college entrance examination is coming up. From now on you have to go home and sleep every day. No, I'll still tutor you with your homework. He Yanji added another sentence after this sentence. Only then did little Qi let him go. She could take advantage of him a lot by tutoring him with homework. Boss He's figure was quite good. Go back and rest. Then when you get home, send me a text message, little Qi requested. Got it. After He Yanji answered, he took out his car keys and left the Xing family's house with a rare smile on his face. However, when he returned to the hotel and got out of the car, he was stopped by someone. He Yanji maintained a high level of vigilance and was not successfully attacked by the other party. The two of them fought in the parking lot. The two of them were evenly matched and neither of them had the advantage. It was not until a beam of light from the side of the elevator hit Tang Xiaobao's face that He Yanji stopped. It's you. No matter how I think about it, I still feel that I should fight you. After Tang Xiaobao answered, he gave him another sweeping kick. All these years Tang Xiaobao had been tempered by Tang Yan. He was no longer the Tang Xiaobao of the past. Whether it was in terms of physical fitness or fighting skills, he now had the potential to be the champion. As for He Yanji, he did not have any fighting skills, but he had a lot of fighting experience. All these years he had fought with many experts. Therefore it was not easy to determine the victor between the two of them. 5 years ago you interfered in the matter between me and Xiao Wan. It's time for you to quit, right? The two of them fought in the parking lot. In the end, both of them were injured and neither of them gained the upper hand. I never believed that someone like you could be liked by Xing Qingwan. You're just a hooligan, but I seem to have underestimated you. The two of them lay on the ground, unable to move. However, it was also because of this that they could finally open their hearts and talk. I once had an enviable background and a good education, so I never thought that you had anything to brag about. After hearing He Yanji's words, Tang Xiaobao sat up from the ground and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. If you bully Xing Qingwan in the future, I won't let you off. Although I hate your self-righteousness, I have to say that you're really doing it for little Wan's good, so I won't argue with you. At least on this point I can't replace you. He Yanji also showed his magnanimity. As a matter of fact, although Tang Xiaobao was a sharp and extreme person, it was precisely because he was still in his youth. At the same time he admitted his mistake and let go. This also meant that the children educated by the Tang family would not be wrong. Let's spar more often in the future. Although who knows why I like to fight with a gangster. Tang Xiaobao stood up calmly and left in front of He Yanji. He Yanji sat on the ground and could not help but laugh. Actually, this person was quite cute. You're tuning in to the Zhou Xian's Legacy YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.